Guys, you know what it is. It is Sipping on Sundays on a Monday. We've been off for a few weeks. Happy belated Father's Day. We know that. We got the holidays coming up, but man, listen, you know we had to come on back, man. The two Mississippi North Jackson boys, man, the last time you saw us, man, we had a great show with Jimmy Smith, man. Did some things and talked about some things that nobody heard of because you know what? Jimmy's my boy. We do it North Jackson style. So we're super excited, man. Come on in, man. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Let folks know that we are in the house. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, very interesting and things like that. But so, you know what? How was your Father's Day? How you feeling? And what's going on with
you? Man, my Father's Day was amazing. You know, got my baby girl, man, and my kids did me right this year for Father's Day, man. So got some things for the honeymoon that's gonna be beneficial for me. So things I asked for, so that was good. And man, as you already know, man, everything else, life is good. Life is life, but life is good. God is good.
Well, I'm super excited, man. I'll tell you this. I'll tell a quick story. And like I said, how it's a small world. Your lovely fiance, her cousin reached out to me. His son goes to FAMU, and one of the good things about it, you know, man, we like one thing, man. I will always say, you know, a lot of people on other spots, you know, talk about each other. Man, I'm always a person, man. I believe in the bigger unit, what we are. And the young man was down there at FAMU, had a 4.0 student, A student. Okay, let's start there in the School of Business, which I was in, which is unbelievable. And again, he's an out-of-state student, had some, you know, finances because you know the out-of-state fees or something. He wanted to get ready to get right. So man, his
from Texas,
dad
I
gave me a
think,
call
right?
because they watched the show.
From
And
Texas,
man,
I think, right?
Huh?
I think from Texas, I think.
Yeah, he's down in Texas. Yep, he's down in Texas. Absolutely, down in Texas. And we were able to, you know, connect and do some prayers, man. And the good folks from FAMU took care of him, man. So I'm super excited, man, to be just a little part of that help. I know, like I said, the young man did most of the legwork, reaching out to people we need to reach out to. But this is the thing what this is all about, man. So listen, man, there's nothing about greater than this connection that we got, that we have, man. So, you know, we just going to get it going, man. So let's pull up a couple of things and get it going. Because so I'm going to tell you something. We have had a couple of shows where people talk about $1 million is life changing, right? That's what we heard. We're about to talk about somebody that made some life changing money, and their life is changing, bro. Because the level of stupidity that's going on here, man, is just ridiculous, man. Let me get a couple of shout outs though, man. Shout out to Run Tell That this series, man, in the building already. You know, sitting down over the Rocket Miller channel. You know, man, you always like to tell people that. Thank you for being here. And then, hey, man, listen, man. Emmett Jones, Chicago, Alcorn in the building, always supporting us, fam. Big Emmett in there in the building, man. So, you know, we in the house, man. We letting y'all get settled, man, because we going to really talk about this NFL player that is really, it's just crazy. So as they say, have you heard about this, man, what this young man has done? If not, I'm going to give a little thing. So let's bring this up. Let's get this started, man. Shout out to Paris in the building. Hey, shout out to Paris in the building. Little sister in the building. Always support. Man, we got some people in the building. It's Monday night. Hey, man, listen, this ain't outspoken, but we're going to do some speaking tonight, man. No doubt about it. Oh, I'm sorry, Emmett, I'm sorry. My apologies, Grambling. Because, yeah, hey, man, the G don't play that, but I'm messing us up like that. My bad. But, yeah, man, so I'm going to start this again. Shout out to EA that thinks $1 million is life changing, right? Because, you know, we were talking about the NIL and stuff like that. Well, I'm going to talk about a guy that is life changing. We're going to share this because this right here has blown my mind of the level of stupidity that I see that young people do and everything. So here we go. And let's pull this up and make sure. There we go. Then we got that up there. There we go. The Lions, let me make this really big so people can see this. Used 2 women to lure kidnapped victims to an apartment on the rules of a threesome. So this is what happened. And we'll kind of talk about this. So him and his boys had rented out an Airbnb down in Florida. And what happened was down in Largo, Florida, when they went out, you know, probably going out to kick it, they were robbed. Property was robbed, loss of cash. including roughly $100,000 attributed to Arnold. So he had $100,000 cash, which is crazy. Jewelry, designer items, and other property were total loss of the season $250,000. Arnold reportedly suspected his hired private driver, Yan Lopez, along with Daniel Tescanata and Soldier Anderson, involved in the thefts. However, the investigation stated there's no evidence linking the three men to the burglary. So he called the police. They came, checked it out. So then a couple of hours later, I guess he thought that they were the ones that did it. So him and his boys went and roped these boys up. So this is what they did. They went and got two girls and said, hey, we want you to call these guys, tell them that you're about to set them out with a little something, and then we're going to run up on them boys. Now, Zoe. Now, this is an inside joke, especially from people from Jackson. Them boys act like they were from Christian Brotherhood right there, now, Zoe. That's that Christian Brotherhood right there. When the boy run up on you, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That is. Oh, he's from Tallahassee. Oh, that's because he played university. You're right. I do remember that. That is crazy. So they roll up on your boy. They get the girls. They roll up on them, call them up there. And man, here's the thing. So let me make this big. They confronted, beat, pistol, and interrogated the victim for an hour about the suspect's stolen property. One victim reporter had a gun placed in his mouth. The three men were held at gunpoint, threatened with death, robbed of wallets, phones, and jackets, cash and jewelry.
The woman live streamed.
Huh?
And one of the girls live streamed it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we about to get to that. With one of the girls live streaming it. Which is live streaming it. Now, bro. So, of course, they get arrested. So that was the first part. So let's just. Oh, hey, listen, Emmett. You know what? I got a story about this. I'm glad you brought that because that's exactly what him OJ. Okay, this is what I don't understand. All right, I know you young. You got the money. You know the boys rolled up on you. Do you think that the Caps are gonna give you your money back?
Well, Steve, here's the main problem, though. Even if you know you're right with your hunch, you ain't got proof.
Bruh.
You don't have proof. So here's the thing. Again, this is one of those things where, again, street justice, right? But even in street justice, it's different when you move when you got proof. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You didn't have no proof. They going off logistics in the sense of, well, nobody could have known but them. You see what I'm saying? But if you ain't got proof, because now, if you had proof, this situation that he's in, it could help in his defense in a way to get him off. You see what I'm saying? But he don't have no proof. He has nothing but logistics. And logistics is finna get him the free sex that he don't want.
I see what you did there. Now, so in the words of what do you think was going to happen? So this kid was a first rounder a couple of years ago. So guess what? Not shocking. The Lions' decision to release Teron Arnold has significance. So they released him.
Yep.
So they gave him $1 million bond, $1 million, 10-15%, had to pay $150,000 to get out. But here's the thing. And they said if he had been All-Pro 2025, they might have worked it. But here is the thing. So here's the interesting part. At the surface, cutting Arnold most likely will allow him to keep the full, let me make this really big so people can see this, keep the full amount of his $7.2 million signing bonus, and we will probably receive all of this pay for the next 2 seasons, $2 million for 2026 and $2.75 for 2027. Now, so I'm gonna stop right there. Now, let me tell you something. I told you I was an agent, and I told you I work with lawyers every day. 2 of my partners are lawyers. Soon as I saw that, I was like, they ain't read the contract. Because I'm gonna tell you what I already know. He ain't getting that money. But guess what? They're gonna talk about why he's not gonna get that money. But this is why he ain't gonna get that money. But there's a potential caveat. It is possible, as one source observed, that the Lions released Arnold for personal conduct that adversely affected the team. The Ravens used this approach with safety Earl Thomas in 2020 in an effort to avoid his fully guaranteed pay. Fully guaranteed means guaranteed for skill, injury, and salary cap.
Yeah, he's going to
If a
fight for
player
that money.
is terminated for personal conduct that adversely affects the team, the guarantees are voided. Arnold can file a grievance for end determination, but that would create a separate problem. At some point, he would have to testify to show he didn't engage in personal conduct that adversely affects the team, under which would be a much lower standard than proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
I was just
Anything he was saying, the grievance hearings could be used against him in a criminal trial.
I was just gonna say he's gonna have to go to the PA to get his money.
Listen, well, that's automatic. It's also possible the Lions moved to release Arnold because they'd gotten the impression that the league was going to place him on paid leave. If that had happened, they would have had to pay him. If the Lions released him for personal conduct adversely affecting the team, they quite possibly won't owe him another penny. Because Arnold has less than 4 years of NFL service, he'll pass through waivers. It's unlikely that another team will
Hampton Vegas, that's not a pause neither. That ain't no pause. I said the free sex that he don't want. There ain't no pause. That's clear as day.
No, not at all. I don't think so. I think the bond was going to be what it was, Isaiah. I think the bond was going to be what. Let me see. He said, "I live in Detroit. You should listen to me." I know they are going. Shout out to A Holla TV, man. This is right here. You know, man. We talk about life changing money, right? $7 million up front. He getting $2. I will say, even I don't think that's life changing money. I think that's close to it for a lot of people, right? And to sit back there and to think that any of this was going to go anyway but this.
But why? But also, like, highlight Guru Living post. He made a great. He said it perfectly. If you're gonna do anything vigilante, you do it by yourself. So you can't have anything to go against you or anybody to say anything or have anything on you. But then on top of that, not only the two guys is with you doing the crime, you got a woman live streaming you pistol whipping somebody.
Well, bro, the girls was like 18, 19 years old. They wasn't like no grown chicks. They were like, let me pull that back up. The girls, I'm pretty sure, I think I read it, were like 18 and 19 years old. Let me make sure I verify that. Because when I looked at this, I said, first of all, let me see.
Steve, hold on. Before you finally pull it up, here go a bigger question that neither one of us ain't touched on. How you gonna get a random message for two girls talking about a threesome and you're gonna be down for
it? Well, look, okay. Now let me say this, and I can find it because this leads the whole. Yeah, the girls were 18 and 19 years old at the time of the incident. Now listen, bro, I live in Atlanta, and I used to party down in Miami. It is a bunch of lame Negroes, and trust me when I say this, that if a girl sending them a text message, that I'm about to do whatever, bro, they showing up. They straight showing up. I seen it happen. I mean, I've seen guys get smoked so many times in Miami when I was an age. I used to be down there, and I'd be like, bro, you know them girls working, right? And you know, see that dude over there in that corner? That dude about to get you, my boy. We literally just, and I'm gonna find, see, now you're gonna make me find this. Because here in Atlanta just happened. Well, my man, let me see if I can find this while you got me started. Because see, this is my big pet peeve. Men, bro, you can't be this stupid. Man. But they are. I have seen it. Let me okay, I'm about to get off on a tangent. So a lot of you all know I have many jobs. Well, one of my jobs, I just throw a lot of big parties, right? So when I would go like to these clubs and stuff like that to figure out, man, I had this one little zone. I'm talking about stunner. She was young. She was about 21 years old. And I would call her and I said, hey, listen, you got to come go to this meeting with me. Now, she was smart. She was in school. She was real smart. I think I was about 31 years old. So she was 21. I was 31. And you got to go to this meeting with me. And she didn't mind. She would just ask, hey, I'm trying to learn the game. Why would I go? Because I say, let me tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to go and sit down. You're going to look good. And I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I'm going to tell you how I'm going to figure out, can I work with these guys or how I got to watch my back. If they ask you if me and you are blah, 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 or what's your number, I know I can't trust them. And I say, I guarantee you one of the two guys that's sitting there going to do it. It never failed that they did that. Then what I found out is I would just send her there. I wouldn't even come no more. And she'd get a better deal with the club than I would. Because men going to fall for it, bro. They're going to fall for it. They're going to fall for it. So you got guys. I'm gonna try to find this video, man, because I want to show you this fool in Atlanta. Man, let me see. Because I want you to see these chicks. That's why I'm gonna say they don't even have to look good.
That's crazy.
So that's the thing. So I'm not shocked that these dudes. Yeah, okay, here it is. Okay, yeah. Let me see here. This is it right here. Let me see if I got the video right here. Yep, this is it right here. Hold on one second. Let me pull this up. And I want y'all to see these chicks, these bust downs. And this is in Atlanta, Georgia.
That boy said bust
man,
down.
let me tell you something. If he stay where I think he stay, let me pull this up. Hold on one second, y'all. Because this, all right. Let me pull this up. And this is just showing my point right
here. I heard that in a minute.
Yeah. Come on, man. You know I'm old school with it. Shout out to A Willer 38. FAMU in the building. Look at these chicks here, though. Look at these chicks here. All right, let me make this real big. All right, can you see that? That's pretty big. Okay. So this dude, I think, was at the St. Regis, which is a real high-end hotel.
I know it is it.
Yeah, high-end, big money. Ain't nothing but working girls over there. But these two bust downs were working this boy here. Now look at these chicks. Okay, now they're not going. Okay, yeah. Look at these girls, bro.
Oh, that's they got the watches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this. This dude got took for 25 G's for these two chicks. 25. I'm gonna run this back one more time.
I saw that.
When I saw this, okay, look at this, man. And I'm not hating on nobody, but I'm just telling you, these two chicks in Atlanta. And so let me get back to let me stop this right here, because this is very important. This is what I'm talking about, man. Now, this is a grown man, clearly successful, staying in a high-rise in Atlanta. Easily, if he owns it or if he's renting, he's paying north of $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, especially if he's in Buckhead. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This lame got these two broke down chicks wearing rainbow, and he really believed that these two girls gonna break him up. You see what I'm saying? So he just met them.
What's the dollar amount again, Steve?
25 G's they got that boy for. 25. And it ain't, you know what? Let me tell you something. It ain't even about the size. It's about what they got on, bro. You talking about 25,000. The outfits between both of them ain't worth $25.
I agree.
It ain't. Let me just again look at this.
I agree.
What in the world of rainbow with these flat, and the other girl got slides on, bro. And look at my man. My man think he about to get down. And them girl is laughing all the way to the bank. So it's like, man, what are we doing?
Hey, look at they still large, right? They're still looking for him, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, they still looking for him.
Yeah,
they still looking for him. Listen, come on now. Now y'all listen, y'all know that ain't the fight. That ain't even Fashion Nova what that girl got on. That ain't even Fashion Nova what that girl got on.
Hey.
So I'm saying this to say,
it
is very easy to get got.
Hey,
it is very unless you listen, man. Now, brother like yourself, hey man, look, first of all, we from North Jackson. Ain't nobody gonna hustle us. That's the first thing. Let's start there. Ain't nobody. Hey, Tony, talk to you. Hey, talk to him. You listen, bro. You got to be right. Listen, if you go get me, I can show you the picture how you got to get me. But you ain't gonna get me with no flats, bro.
Hey,
you ain't gonna get me. Zoe, you're not getting me with no flats. You're not gonna get me with no flat. You're not gonna get me with the rainbow and flats.
Hey, man. Every day they doing their job. They looking for a sucker. He got licked.
But and I mean they got the lick, bro. They got the lick. So man, so I just said this, man. What's really back to Armstead, the kid, it's like Arnold. I'm sorry. It's like, man, you done lost your whole career. You done lost your whole career, and are going to be in jail. If you don't believe me, ask O.J. Simpson. Because this is exactly because see here's the problem.
They got 9 years for that.
Listen, and what people don't understand. So he would have been all right. But once you have that gun, you multiply times 3.
Yeah, but he got multiple things. You got that gun. It's on video. You already
but,
went to
but I'm talking about why he's going to be in jail for a while.
Yeah,
When you commit any crime with a gun, that's a wrap.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, yeah, with a gun, but it's on video, and you went to the police beforehand.
Bruh, listen. I mean, and when, like I said, and here's the thing. Now, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Now, come on, my boy. Now, listen. Hey, Holla TV, now listen. I know you an upstanding person, but you from the D. Now, come on now. See, certain cities, Chicago, the D, DC, New York, LA, Miami, we know the game. Here's the thing, and this happens in Atlanta all the time. You know, all he had to do, Zoe, which is no problem. I know the boy got insurance, he got a crib. That's all man part of the package. I'm just writing it up on my insurance. That's why he said he got 100,000 cash.
I was just about to say, but Steve, sometimes let me say this too to young people. Man, sometimes you gotta learn the art of taking a loss. Sometimes you gotta chalk it up taking the loss. Yeah, you probably can go back and try to write off your taxes, but if you can't, it's a lesson learned. You got some boss sense because you paid for it.
Yeah.
Point blank period. You gotta learn how to take a loss. I'm keeping the space.
Bro, you ain't listen. I'm not listen. When I'm making that amount of money, bro. Listen, I don't even make that amount. But let me tell you something. This is a true story. I got cats I grew up with in Jackson. I go back. One of my boys that got out of jail, right? And you know what? He had called me. He had tracked me down. And what dude I grew up with, one of my guys, and we would go to lunch. And I never went anywhere with him at night. If we wanted to link, it was at lunch. So he stayed over there with your folks in Georgetown, right? Basically in the trap house. I drop him off. He like, hey man, come on down there, dog. We're gonna play a little card stuff like that. And literally at 5 o'clock, all them boys, because you know what, they all had jobs, right? But they still was working at night. I said, bro, ain't no way in the hell I'm gonna be over here. Because you know the first person they gonna see, I got that big ass Escalade sitting out there, they gonna come at me first. They just gonna get me first. Just put my name out there. Ain't no way, bro. So listen, at 5 o'clock, I dropped that boy. I would not see him until the next day. Ain't no way you gonna see me. So
5 o'clock in the morning.
I live my life like that right now.
5 o'clock in the morning.
And no. Like I'm saying, I drop him off at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I ain't gonna see him until the next day at lunch.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You ain't gonna catch me with the sun going down.
Okay.
Because I know what them boys doing. I know what y'all doing. So I ain't gonna be sitting up there, the only cat with a college education, only cat that ain't got a misdemeanor on his record, and here I'm sitting up there with the boys up in the trap. It ain't happening, dog. It is not going to happen, man. It is like, that is crazy. So it's like what you said. So you said the bigger thing, and a couple of people, and I think telling them, the boy from Tallahassee, and you know what's so funny now that I think about it, because I remember they were pissed that he went to Alabama. Now this is really on the recruiting, right?
Yeah.
He was a really top end recruit.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I think somebody said in the chat, you know, he's a saint, good kid. But bro, what are we doing? And like you say, and then here's the thing, and this is what I don't understand. And if we got time, I'm gonna try to show something else, because I know I won't have you on here too long. Because this go back to your girl, Young Miami. Spend that. Hustle, you know, scamming, whatever.
Hey, you know what?
On somebody did something crazy.
I'm gonna tell you, that song will get a lot of people in trouble.
Bro, it's getting a lot of people in trouble, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. You better leave those scammers. You better leave, bro. You gotta leave them out your life, man. You got to leave.
But you know, I'm gonna tell you something. Not to go too off in a tangent into left field, but this bags up my theory that I said a long time ago. The majority of football and basketball athletes, especially the elite ones who are really, really good, they're square. They're square.
Oh, big squares.
And so a lot of people don't know that. Like a lot of them are licks for a lot of women and a lot of people and a lot of dudes. They're square. They're an easy target because they don't have. Because they focus so much on their craft and things are given to them easy, they don't have the social, I won't say social skill, they don't have the necessary skill for someone who lacked in that department, but then they're well-rounded socially to deal with all the different kind of walks of life that they come and deal with. It's just like, for example, athletes at HBCUs and most athletes at like a P4 who have everything given to them. It's two totally different worlds that they come from. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those guys, when they make it, they're an easy target for people when they come at them, as opposed to people who have to get out the mud and work their way through. You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference. So, and this proves it because again, his train of thinking and how he moved actually kind of shows that, right? So, like I say, man, you gotta learn. Sometimes you gotta learn the art of taking a loss and just, hey, man, or hey, this is not a big deal. I'm pissed off that it happened, but I got the necessary means and I can go through the channels to recoup my loss. That's nothing. That's just an experience I learned from it. It won't happen again. And you could tell by him going through what he went through, it was just horrible decisions every which way but loose.
Bro, horrible decision. And so you just hit it, man. Listen, man, the biggest thing what used to tickle me, bro, you know, I would be, because like you say, is now Miami, them cats, a little bit different. And basketball guys are different. Football guys, to your point, most of them come from the country.
Yep.
Most of them boys ain't no hustlers. Most of them boys ain't nothing. They come from the country. They know their mama. They go to church. Especially them big boys. Them big boys ain't around there. If you, and so you notice you around the Jack State around there. Them, the nicest people on the football team is the big guys. They ain't around there just, not saying on the field that they not there, but I'm just talking about just overall.
Yep.
It's a little motherfucker that always want to fight and shit. But the big boys, they just nice, they real joke because they've always had to be like that. But then, man, listen, I seen cats, man, and they'll go to, especially like I say, them hot boy cities, and man, in they country, and them girl, when I say they soon as they fresh off the boat, they know they fresh off the boat.
Yep.
And they start getting chicks they know they ain't never talked to, and them girls know to get at them.
Yep.
And then they get with a couple of cats, now they want to be tough. And then they get these two dudes that ain't his friends, because here's my thing. If you the football player, I'm your boy. And like you said, we get got. Like, so man, don't worry about that. Let's just say you brought that to me, man. I'm pissed off, dog. I know who it is. I got, because every one of them got a gun. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing they do. That's an NFL starter kit. I got to go get a gun. Just because.
Starter kit.
Oh, yeah, that's a starter kit. Got, my boy. Oh, I got the 9, my boy. We about to go get him. I'm like, bro, chill. We got. You got insurance. And I'm going to tell you this because I'm your boy. I like kicking it because you got the money and we ain't about to go to jail.
Nope.
I like kicking it. So we're going to take this L and we're going to let the police handle it. Because you ain't getting it back no matter what. Because one thing about somebody stole $100,000 for you, and I don't know how many of y'all saw Snowfall, and Franklin was looking for that money, and he over there saying that money had all been spent by them crackhead, bro. If somebody get you for $100,000, that money already gone. Already gone. So it's like, come on, man, what are we doing? So, man, I just had to start that off, man. So this is that time of the year. Everybody got a list. Everybody make a prediction. We're gonna talk about some of these predictions. But I did see one that got people over there in the West kind of upset about these rankings. So shout out to my folks, HBCU sports, you know what I'm saying? Don't know my people over there. They had to do they list. So they got their list. Who are the 10 best Division I HBCU head coaches? You know what I'm saying? And I think, Kendrick, that's Kendrick JSU guy. So Kendrick put down his list, and so I'm one too.
With an asterisk.
So of course, number 1, he got Chennis Berry. Quickly built a reputation as the most disciplined, consistent leader in HBCU football. South Carolina going 12-0 on MEAC play, which is talking about over 2 years. 2 trips to the Celebration Bowl and the Black College National Championship. And then he was undefeated at Benedict. So they got him number 1. Now, this is where the stuff gets started right here. 2 through 4. Kendrick got TC Taylor number 2. TC Taylor has kept Jack State in the championship level conversation by maintaining the program standard of toughness, talent, and pressure cook packs expectations. Jack State under TC Taylor has won 2 SWAC East Championship and a Celebration Bowl. Tigers are favored to run it back in the division again. 10 for nothing. Our boy, my guy, T-Jack, number 3, made an immediate impact at Prairie View where his energy and turnaround ability helped the Panthers maneuver and win, because he didn't put in him, won the SWAC last year, 1 play away from winning the HBCU National Championship. Number 4, who's my guy, North Carolina Central Zone Trey Oliver, steady winner, earned respect for his ability to develop players and keep the Eagles among the MEAC top programs. Now, this is where the thing kind of gets interesting. Eddie Robinson, number 5, improved Alabama State each of his 4 seasons in Montgomery, culminating with a 10-win campaign that completed without SWAC Offensive Year Andrew Body. Deshaun Jackson, Wasn't expecting much to do Delaware State. You know what he did there? Number 7, Quinn Gray. FAMU's own. Got Quinn at 7. And this is why I just think where they should just maybe cut it off. They should maybe just cut it off. Because you got Dishman at 8, Joseph at 9, and Raymond Wood at 10. And I guess you had to have 10. It ain't that many. We only got
whoa. Now, go back up to the top. I want to make sure before I open my mouth say anything. Go all the way up to the heading again. Mm-hmm. Is this only for the FCS schools, or is this all?
He did a D2.
Okay. Because I was about to say, because I could put Dr. Alvin Parker ahead of some of those guys, but okay. Needless to say, there's only one travesty in this list. I have to be honest.
What's that?
Tremaine Jackson should not be at number 3 in no shape, form, or fashion.
Okay, here, let's get it started. Then why should not Tremaine Jackson be at number 3?
Well, just look at logistically. He only has one season as a coach, and yes, he won the conference title, but you can't put a coach who hasn't won a national championship over a coach who's won a national championship.
Okay, so you would have Trey Oliver ahead of Tremaine Jackson.
Man, like it ain't nobody's business. Trey Oliver has won consistently at they're like, here goes I mean, let's look at logistics. I mean, hey, how many national championships on the Division I level has Tremaine Jackson won? Yes, he's won a championship. So here's the thing: you can't say I'm hating because I'm saying he should be at number 4. And he's getting to number 4 because he won a conference championship in 1 year. Right. So by putting him at 4, that's giving him the kudos for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hold on 1 second, Steve.
Yeah, no problem.
1 second.
So when I saw this, and shout out to the PV12, shout out to PV12. You know what I'm saying? But now listen, this y'all are getting a little bit too much ahead of yourself on this now. Now I know T-Jack that came in there and he got, like I said, y'all out there, y'all doing your podcasts and you folks is buying season tickets, y'all ready. I'm happy for that. But I'm like, so bro, for y'all to sit up there and be mad that he is further off behind TC Taylor, who actually won a championship, and for Zoe, which is, I think is totally legitimate, what Trey Oliver has done at this level, has won a national championship, beat one in the Celebration Bowl era, potentially one of the best teams ever in Jackson State with Shador and Travis Hunter. You guys got to come on, man.
All right. Sorry about that, man. I had to come through. No, but so again, me saying it is not, again, they take what they take everything as if it's some type of hate or anything. No, there's no hate. Again, you're giving kudos to Tremaine Jackson because, again, being year 1 and you win the conference championship, that leapfrogs you ahead of some other coaches. The fact that you're even above, Eddie Robinson, because again, why? Because you won a conference championship and Eddie Robinson hasn't. Right. So again, that makes you leapfrog Eddie Robinson, who has a good winning record at Alabama State. You leapfrog him because you won a conference championship, which is something that he hasn't done. But also, if I'm going to use that metric, then I have to use that for Trey Oliver. Trey Oliver won a national championship, which beat probably one of the best teams in the past 20 years in HBCU ball for a national championship. So, yeah, Trey Oliver should be at number 3, TC Taylor at number 2. And, yeah, you can put, Chennis Berry at number 1. I think that's logical. I think we all, outside of Waller, Texas, can all agree that should be your top 4 coaches on a D1 level.
Well, I'm going, you know what, Zone? I'm going to co-sign everything that you say. And first of all, put some respect on my boy Trey Oliver's name, okay? Let's first and foremost, put some respect on Trey Oliver's name. Because, like I say, when you go into a game like that, and you keep that team at the top, even though you haven't won it and been back since, but keep that team consistent with the way they have to recruit. And his philosophy is saying, I'm getting high school players. They're going to play my system, and we're going to keep rolling this thing out. And you won, and I'm going to say this again, you won a national championship. You listen, he said, "What? They ain't won 5, bro. They only play 6 games. What are you talking about? Ain't won 5 games in a million years, but they got a winning record. Come on now, PV12. Like you act like, come on now, that didn't even make no sense. He ain't won 5 games. You can only play 6. So what is he supposed to do? Like, come on, man. But let's talk about this right here. And then TC Taylor got in, and again, let's keep it a buck. And this ain't my Jackson thing. A lot of people didn't know what was going to happen in Jack State. Now, I'm not saying Jack State fault. I'm talking about just outside, because that thing could have went totally the other way. That thing could have actually went like FAMU with James Coles. But for TC Taylor holding, what TC first? He was 7-5, right?
7-4.
7-4. They come back, win the national championship. They come back again, win the East, and they 2 or 3 plays away from being back in the Celebration Bowl.
It's been conference title 2 out of 4 years.
2 out of 3 years.
Oh yeah, I'm tripping. 2 out of 3 years.
Yeah, 2. That's what I'm saying. Back to back in the East. Where's the beast? So ain't nobody. And I'm gonna say this again, and this is what we gotta stop doing. And I'm gonna say it right now. I don't need to tear you down to raise me up.
Exactly.
And see, and this is what happens when. And I know you want to defend people. Tremaine Jackson is a tremendous coach, because I'm gonna say this again. That game that he coached against Jackson State, and that game plan was one of the best game plans I've ever seen. And I got this from coaches. Because they weren't supposed to win that game. But they had a game plan to put them in a position to win the game. And that's all you want, because after that, it's all about players. But the game plan of what they wanted to do to keep Jackson State with them big explosive plays, and a quarterback that I said on HBC Coach's Corner, that I said if he has an all SWAC game, they're going to win it, which he did.
I would venture to say this too. Chennis Beer is the number 1, hypothetically speaking. If TC goes to the Celebration Bowl to win it this year, and TC Taylor will leapfrog Chennis Beer, in my estimation.
Well, okay. So this is where we say, because then he's gonna have 2-1. He's gonna have 2-1. So you can never argue championships. You can never, because we're gonna get to that in a second. You can, and Emmett, we definitely gonna pull this up. You can never argue championship. Now, you know what? So let me tell you something. Emmett just made me think about something, which also ties into this, right? So my thing is like this. When I see these lists, I'm always interested. Because first of all, I'm just like, okay, when you go down, and like I say, nothing against the coaches down at the bottom and everything like that. But again, it's only, so wait a minute, how many teams? It's 12 teams in SWAC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 12, and then you got 6. So that's 18. So basically, you got over half the people on a 10 list. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason why I kind of don't like it 10. It should have been top 5.
Top 5, I agree.
It should have been top 5. And that's no disrespect to anybody else. But if you wanted just to have the argument like we're having the discussion, better yet, it's not even an argument, discussion. Because you know what we just did? We know for a fact, and nothing against Eddie, but the top 4 have either won a conference title or won a national championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those 4, depending on what you like, to your point, any one of those 4 could be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what you like. Because I can make a damn good case that Trey Oliver could be 1 without blinking.
Yeah.
It's very obvious with Chennis Bear why he's 1. But I can make a damn good case for TC Taylor. Because if I go and say outside facts, I can make a case. Now I'm a Prairie View horse. Prairie View ain't won nothing. Now I know Lionel and said, well, Mr. Campbell, we've had a winning record. No, I'm talking about conference championships. You've won what they won 2 in the last 40 years? Something like that.
They won 1 2009.
Won 2009. So in the last 50 years, they've won 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give y'all credit for that. Now, I understand that you won the West and stuff like that, but I'm talking about, bro, we count championships over here. So for what Tremaine Jackson did that nobody expected him to do, because they definitely weren't picked to win it, and for him to coach that team, I got to give him credit. So all of those coaches that are listed in the top 4 are amazing. And, you know, and E-Rob, and like I said, I'm going to say this before we transition, because I do want to get to what Emmett said. I got to find that graphic. This is E-Rob. Hey, for me, Eddie Robinson, even though I think last year was the year, but again, you got to run it back. You got to win it this year when Andrew Body.
You beat me to it. I was actually about to say now, and none of what I'm about to say do I truly believe Eddie Robinson is going to be on the hot seat in no shape, form, or fashion.
No.
But I want to preface my comment with that. But however, this is a very, very, very pivotal season for him and that program. They didn't do it last year, and now you got everything aligned for the team, but also the other teams in the East, where you should be, for him. And if they don't get it this year, it's going to be an indictment more than anything on his resume. Right. It's going to be a real indictment, because if you don't do it this year, they've recruited well, but when you talk about FAMU, Jackson State, and now with Sam Shade, Alabama A&M, where they're falling in their pecking order. Also, we don't know, what happens after the season to whatever it is that Bethune-Cookman may do with regards to Woody. Yep. And then also, we don't even know what may happen with Buckley Valley. I'm not saying Valley's finna win, but I'm just saying this could be a whole new thing for them, where Alabama State may fall in the pecking order. Because remember, it's not like Alabama State year in and year out is like either number one or number two. They've been this way with Eddie Robinson as the head coach. You know what I'm saying? But prior to that, they weren't there. And so, what does that look like if he doesn't get it this year? Because, man, trying to maintain success in this new college football landscape, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be a real big indictment if you don't do it, because now you're going to have this stigma like a James Franklin. Right. Got a good record, but I can't win a big game.
Yeah. So shout out, man. Shout out to Blue. Like I say, so Blue, here's the thing. What was this Blue's comment? I think I said.
Oh, at EA. Like, we're not trying to protect. No, I can't talk about Jackson State scheduling, but I can say no, they're not trying to do anything to protect TC. It's lunacy. No.
So Blue, here's the thing. Let me make sure you can understand what I'm saying. I think there's no doubt that Chennis Berry is number one. But what I'm saying is, it's no different. Because come on now, because you watch all the channels too. A lot of them been sitting up there telling you that in this list. I saw the shows. Why T. Jack not number one? They made arguments. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but all I'm saying is with Trey Oliver, not to say it's right, but if he's going to go down on that hill, he can say, hey, man, listen, I got me a national championship, and I'll be one of the greatest teams, and I'm consistent. That's all I'm saying. What Chennis trumps him is, to your point, is that he has went to back-to-back Celebration Bowls and has won one. So 2 is more than 1. So I agree with you on that. But my point of it, I'm not going to discount what Trey Oliver has done with that program and be like, there's this gap. Because I think, again, with those top 4 guys, I think if you just move them guys around, I think they'd be successful at all 4 of those schools. Just the way how they move. So I wanted to bring this up. So here's the thing, though, Zo, which was kind of interesting because Emmett brought it up, which ties into
your top 3.
Yeah, but hold on. You got Jack State. They got pretty good AD, you would say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chennis Berry, Buddy Pugh's the AD, right? I would say he's pretty good AD. I think he made a hell of a hire. Got him still going. And you got Anton Goff. So with that being said, there's a connection, right? With good ADs and this list. So here's the thing, what I saw, and Dr. Cavil had this. He had his top ADs. And we'll share that right here. And which was pretty interesting to me when I saw this. And again, and I'm pretty sure what Dr. Cavil did, which I'm not going, is no disrespect, because I named Buddy Pugh, but I think he's probably talking about overall programs. And again, I'm not going to argue that. But again, there is still some connectivity to what I'm talking about. I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that Ashley Robinson is number 1 AD in black college sports. I don't think there's any doubt. I think everybody understands that. I think people believe that. I think there's no doubt about it. I think for what he has done, and we're going to talk about something he's done a little bit later in the show, and where he's gotten Jack State to a point where I'm talking about national brand, expecting every sport, because you guys won the Commissioner's Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Every sport to be in the running.
I'm good.
I think that's a hell of a thing. Now, the next thing, hey, Dr. Cavil, one thing about Alabama State, they win those Commissioner's Cups. They won. No problem. They've won SWAC championships basketball. They just won the baseball championship, and they win all the auxiliary sports. So might be fine. Not going to talk about how it's Kerry Davis. And hey, listen, your boy Golf was on the roll down there. Kept the basketball coach when he could have let him go, but said, he saw something in the coach, and of course he made the T-Jack hire. And then we got Norfolk State's AD, which I don't know what the criteria is. I'm not too familiar with Miss Webb. She did hire Michael Vick. She raised a whole bunch of money, but we'll see what happens with that. And of course, the basketball is off the chain in Norfolk State, so I can totally understand that, men's and women. And then Travion Scott at Grambling, which I think he has had his ups and downs. And I think, honestly, no matter what Grambling does, Grambling is only judged by one thing, and that's what they do in football. They can win everything else.
X. They don't care.
But it does not matter. And the G have not won anything since 2017 and 2016. They won in 2016 and then came back in 2017 and lost a heartbreaker to A&T. So, and he's had that thing. But I think that Buddy Pugh needs to be on here. So what do you think about this list? And what do you think about the connectivity of these great ADs and their programs?
Well, I have to be honest. I'm totally unfamiliar. I can't speak on Howard and Kerry Davis. I'm just going to be transparent on that.
Yeah.
But everybody else, I think everything looks on par. I think Golf has done a great job since he's been there. He's been more visual, kind of like Ashley has been for Prairie View. But I, too, agree with you that Buddy Pugh should be there as well. When you talk about the restrictions that South Carolina State has, you know what I'm saying? Right. He's been pretty much been able to make magic with what he has to work with, and I think he needs to be commended. So, and again, they just won a national championship. You talk about, doing what they've done, from a football standpoint. They mostly recruit within the state of South Carolina. You go and you get Chennis Berry and how they've done since he's been there. And this is not to undermine what Travion Scott has done at Grambling. I think he's done some good work. Yep. Travion Scott may not be as visual as Ashley or Anton Golf, but you have to look at what he's done since he's been there. You got to remember, perception plays a role in some of this. And remember, when he first got there, it wasn't sweet. You had the whole volleyball fiasco. You had things going on at Grambling. And then they've turned that around. You see what I'm saying? And so they've done some good things. So this is not to undermine Travion Scott. He's been doing the work. Well, I still just want to commend and give kudos to Buddy Pugh, because to step out of the coaching seat, as an alma mater, to turn right around into the AD spot and to hit the ground running the way he did, he needs to be commended for doing so.
Yeah. No, I think that you cannot. And again, and see, here's my thing. And I think people are going to understand this. If you're an AD and whatever your school is, basketball, football, baseball, track, or whatever, you better be good in that sport. Because everything else you can figure out. But, and I'm going to use FAMU, and EA made a great point. Angela Suggs would have been on this list. With all them hires, all them championships, FAMU don't won. And all those were her hires, or she raised the money. So I'm with you on that, EA. But my thing is why Buddy Pugh, to me, has to be on this list. He knows that South Carolina State is a blue blood. And he's going to make sure, if nothing else, because, as they say, limited resources, we're going to be good in our flagship sport. Because that's going to raise money. The converse of that, your boy, I believe, is Mickey Allen up there at Tennessee State, who got the whole coaching fraternity up there writing letters of them not being happy about what's going on at Tennessee State. Because no matter what, that'll let me shift gear while Zoe is doing this thing, which leads me into, and this never made any sense to me. and I'm gonna bring this up, and this goes back to, and again, I always want people to be successful. And Tennessee State is one of those schools I really want them to be successful. But one of the things that just blew my mind, and I saw this, and I wasn't going to talk about this, but Zoe's off, so I'll just go ahead and fill this time in. Tennessee State and their hockey program. Tennessee State's hockey program in danger of folding before playing the game. Once again, HBC Sports. You know, hey, man, shout out there. Who wrote this? Chris. My man, Chris Stevens. I check him out. I think Chris comes on Thursdays around noon or something like that. Chris does great work. Great writer. The Tennessee State hockey program could be finished before it even begins. Intern President Dwayne Tucker, who them folks put in there to stay with the ship, you know, he part of that undercover, but that's all right. He tried to get it right. That the university is evaluating whether it can move forward with the men's hockey program, which was announced in 2023. That was under Dr. Glover in partnership with the NHL Nashville Predators. I can tell you we're not going to move forward with a hockey program if it's sustainable. Funding is not there, Dr. Tucker. Unfortunately, there's no funds through 2030 that we can provide a startup. The Tigers hockey program scheduled to start in 2024-25. The club team was pushed back to 26-27, which would be this year coming up. Tucker says the university funding commitments that will cover operational expenses and scholarships at least 5 years to ensure the program's viability. He also said the university priorities include addressing aging residency halls and innovating Hale Stadium. Let me make that big right there. But that ties in to my point. Tennessee State will soon launch a 2-year, $100 million fundraiser campaign. All right, let me stop right there because this is what's important. This right here is what I like about Dr. Tucker. Bruh, we play football at Tennessee State. We're blue blood, and we can't even play home games. And guess what? Because we at somebody else's joint, we got to go play over in Vanderbilt. So my thing is, when I saw this hockey thing, and I already knew how short Tennessee State was on money, why did y'all think that was a good idea of hockey? Not a women's sport, whatever they may not have with women. What does that? It just blew my mind. And I'm going to say this again. You got a flagship program, which Eddie George had kind of got back, right? He left. And you should be giving Coach Barlow every penny, every dime, and Nolan Smith, who brought y'all about $1 million. You know, come on, man. All these people, the track team, the Tiger Bells, just had the coach. Shout out to her on HBC Coach's Corner. So Tennessee State should be football, actually track number 2, and basketball. And those are your pillar things. And you talking about playing hockey. And then you do what we as black people, come on now, see. Shout out to my white people that's watching. You watching Sippin On Sundays on a Monday. Mr. Campbell, Zoe Phillips. We're on the Off Script channel. We're on the Rocky Miller channel. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. But you know us black folks how we were. Bruh, you know if we ain't got it right, don't be telling me nothing about it. You know how black folks are, Zoe. Hey, Zoe, bro, listen, I'm gonna have a get together. I'm gonna kick it. Steve, you got the food yet? No. Bro, don't be telling nobody you had no party until you got to look in the food, bro. Bro, you telling people about the party, you ain't even got to look in the food. What are we doing? You got a football team that literally has the nomad, your flagship program. Mm-hmm. Track, basketball. Nolan Smith brought y'all $1 million, and y'all talking about hockey to look good for who? For who? What does that bring to Tennessee State? I just don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. It blows my mind. So what do you think about this, and what do you think this is going to end up at?
I never understood the sport choice. I never did. I thought
and they played that game because they needed more seats. That's why.
So, I mean, let me say this. I like the idea of going down the pathway of doing something different if they tangibly had a legit plan to get it done.
Yeah.
But I just question the sport choice because look, man, let's call a spade a spade. Tennessee State doesn't draw well in football. It's the best sport they have on campus. If you ain't drawing well for football, how you gonna draw for hockey? And it's a non-revenue generating sport. So, I thought about them doing, going the club sport route, but when they announced it, they, which is crazy because they made this announcement as if like they had everything secure. We're just pretty much going to get it started and go. And it wasn't the case. And now you're talking about folding. I just think it's crazy. I think if any male sport were to come to any of our institutions, I could see male soccer, like regular soccer. You know what I'm saying? But I also was wondering, and y'all could correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I also question when they brought hockey or any other male sport because of Title IX. Didn't we have to bring in 2 other women's sports if we brought a male sport in?
Right.
Because of Title IX? So, that was the thing that I kind of I worry about as well. But again, I think if any of our institutions were to bring a new sport in, I could see, for example, like soccer coming in, men's soccer coming in, or like, again, some other things, but that was just off the beaten path.
Hold on. I don't want you to step on that point. Because let me tell you something about soccer. Guess what you can do with soccer? You can play it on the football field.
Yeah.
Guess what is soccer? You don't need one ball. Guess what soccer? You need t-shirt, sleeves, and shorts.
Or lacrosse. Because lacrosse is a growing sport in the Southeast. It's real big in Atlanta, big in Nashville. So I can see lacrosse, you know what I'm saying? And attendance isn't crazy for lacrosse as it is anyway. You know what I mean? So
no, I think the soccer angle, I think that is, first of all, I think just because of what soccer is in the world. And my point of it is you can play soccer on a football field. You can play soccer, and you can play soccer in some people's intramural fields.
Lacrosse too.
But I'm just talking about the amount of people that you can get to go play soccer. Because lacrosse, you still got to have the sticks and everything. But you got
like from an equipment standpoint, soccer
and just the knowledge of the game. There are more soccer players that you could just go get.
Yeah.
And I think that was Edwin saying, soccer for white people. I think you could really have, you can go get a whole bunch of white kids if that's what your thing is. But it's just crazy. But and like I said, man, listen, and I'll say this again. I understand what you're trying to do, but again, sometimes you got to pick and choose your battles. And Tennessee State, which again, we already know they're in this funny place. They're in the OVC, and the games or the OVC games are really not. Which again, they're HBCU. They're not going to get amped to play Tennessee Tech. That's why that Jack State game is damn near sold out. That's why they play in Florida A&M, because their DNA is an HBCU. And one thing about Tennessee State, they play everybody anywhere at any time.
Let me say this too. I'm glad you mentioned that. For the majority of Tennessee State's existence, they were independent.
Thank you.
And this whole thing about they'll play anybody anytime. Let me say this, because they're a huge segment of some of their alumni and sidewalk fans. You know what sidewalk fans are.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll say this whole thing like, oh, we don't want to be in the SWAC. We don't want to be in the MEAC, yada, yada, yada. And we see better than we hear, don't we, Steve? Your mouth is saying what you don't want to do, but guess what? Your actions prove otherwise.
100%.
Because when every non-conference game you got is against what, Steve? HBCU. And guess what? And it's been that way since I can remember.
Well, let me tell you here's the thing. If you even look over the last 5 years, they have made a conscious effort to even add more.
Oh, for sure.
The whole slate. And not only that, to make sure that they're playing games of their traditional, again, the Florida A&Ms, the Jackson States.
Mm-hmm.
This is who Tennessee State played every year. Southern. All these, so they're like, we gotta have it, because again, and this is the thing about, man, again, the money, which we're gonna talk about, which is gonna tie into something we're gonna talk about with your school. You raise money. Let me tell you what you know is gonna happen. you guys are about to sell you and Tennessee State. Jack State folks coming up to Nashville, rolling deep. I seen the seats. Y'all going crazy. Can't get the seats. Y'all up there. But you know what Tennessee State gonna do? They're gonna have a hell of a fundraiser with the alumni during that weekend for that game. I'm telling you that right now. For that game, they're coming down to Tallahassee. The whole crew is coming down there. Coming to Tallahassee because it's FAMU. Because they remember FAMU and Tennessee State at the 100 Black Men Classic.
So, Steve, they can't get that kind of buzz or that kind of light and fill up Vanderbilt Stadium for those OVC games or for those Big South games. Their fans aren't going to Vanderbilt for those games.
No, they're not. Hell, if Hell Stadium was open, they wouldn't go to Hell Stadium. And I think Hell Stadium will hold 12,000.
Okay.
So, no, not even close. So, Zoe, I wanted to turn this, man. So, this is going to tie. This is two things that we're going to do. Once again, you are watching Sippin On Sundays on a Monday. Zoe Phillips, Mr. Campbell on a Monday, Off Script Network. Rocky Miller channel. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe, man. We appreciate it, man. Thank you for all of you joining us on a Monday. I know we've been switching the times and stuff like that, man. I'm going to say this again. We really appreciate this, man, because we do this because, man, we enjoy the interaction and conversation. We're going to get those phone lines up, too, because, man, I want to make sure you guys call in because you guys know what you're talking about, too. And the end will say 0. And, let me get Zia. It's like a girl from the project who goes to PW and miserable says, I'm tired of yeah, facts. So, Zoe, I saw this tweet, and it's going to tie into something else. And this coach who asked a question, and I'm going to pull this up. And I'm going to say this, y'all, I can tell a number of adults that filled this out because y'all's a lie if y'all going to tell me that kids fill this out. But here was his question. Athletes, would you rather commit to a Power 4 program and sit for 3 years or go to a D2 and have an opportunity to play in year 1? So, I was like, well, you know what? Let me think about this. Let me, I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, this is interesting because this is a choice that's starting to come because of transfer portal, right? And things like that. So, and now, mind you, he said D2, which I thought that was kind of tricky because even though maybe FCS, but he went a whole nother level down. And in his poll, and mind you, it's 1,500 votes as of 7 a.m. I guess that was, no, I screenshot this. So that was yesterday when I screenshotted this. So it might be more votes. Basically, 3/4 of the people said that they will play at a D2 instead of a Power 4. That's all I'm going to tell you something. Y'all lying. Because y'all come on these shows all the time, and Rocky is the head one. Gotta play for that money. Gotta get that money. Gotta get that money. EA already said that $1 million is life changing. So y'all gonna really have me to believe that these kids are really, he didn't say sit and get paid. He just said sit. Well, no. Well, wait, you can't. Hold on, Edwin. Let me pull this up. He didn't say sit and get paid. He said sit. Bro, no. See, my thing is you can't take one without the other because if you go to Power 4, you're getting paid. You're getting revenue share if nothing else.
Oh, yeah, you're getting paid at Power 4.
So you can't do what you just did. I'm not saying it's wrong what you said, but if he's thinking like that, then the question is not valid. It's not even a valid question. You got to make it because so I'm going to say that because he's a coach, I'm going to say he's writing this saying that, you go to a Power 4, you're not going to play. You're getting money because who's going to sit back there and say this question and not put in the caveat that you're getting money from a Power 4? You know what? That's true. Shout out to, yeah, that's true. That's facts. So when I saw this, I said, there's no way, because he aired and told me that $1 million is life-changing money, that any college kid dare touch this pole. There's no way. Because we have heard too many times on this channel, people calling in other channels that all the what if the argument we said, man, you need to come to HBCU. Look at what you can get. You can be like, oh no, Mr. Campbell, I'll sit on the bench. I'll sit on the bench at Ole Miss and get $300,000-$400,000. You remember the argument, the fake argument when Andrew Bottom was gonna get $1 million? And we talked about that.
You know what? I'm glad you said that.
You remember that thing? Oh, Andrew needs to go, even if he doesn't play. I said Andrew would be crazy not to stay at Alabama State and play.
I'm gonna tell you like this, Steve. What's the old saying? Give me your options. I give you your choices.
How about that?
This applies to this. So I mentioned the other day I was on with Blue Everybody with my guys.
No chill sports.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same thing.
Damn.
The problem with this is that the mass public tends to think that every single player is getting paid and they're getting paid handsomely, and that's just simply not the case.
That's not true.
Everybody on that roster is not getting life-changing money.
No.
So even if you go to the NFL, right? You got a 53-man roster. Out there, 53-man roster, only about 20 of those guys are really, really making big money. Now, when I say that, yes, the veterans minimum is, I believe, 300,000 or 350,000, I believe. Yes, that's good.
Probably more than that now.
Well, at the highest it might be 4 because it's not over 400,000. I know that. So, but here's the thing, though. Let's just say it is 400,000, Steve. $400,000 to the average person, yeah, that's real good money. You know what I'm saying? But that's before taxes. And let me just share something with you that my neighbor for a long time was Fred McAfee. I can give you a walk down on how they do taxes in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And when they get done, you got to pay so much money to the PA, the Players Association, and then also when you talk about, you know, where they play from that week to how the taxes go, that $400,000 can get cut down a whole lot. Now, granted, to a college kid, hey, college kid, money is money, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you talk about, yeah, if I can sign an NIL deal for $100,000, yeah, that's good money. You know, we're not gonna front on it. But the point is that everybody's not getting $100,000. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not getting millions either. So that's the thing. But the perception is, even if you go Power 4, man, everybody's getting $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 million. That's just not the case.
No, that's not true.
It's not. And so, yeah, you have rev share, and yeah, you'll have some guys getting paid, and they'll be getting paid good because they don't have to work. But this notion that I go to Notre Dame, oh man, they got a $20 million NIL roster. Yeah, but you don't know how that $20 million distributed. So don't sit there and think everybody's getting $2 and $3 million. That's not the case. It's really not the case, man. So, but to this point on here is that we always said, man, there's enough players that you can get. Now the thing is that you'll get a player real good on a 1-year rental.
Right.
You won't be able to keep that kid, you know what I'm saying, without getting no money for 4 years. And we understand it, and they should. But the thing is people have this perception that, you know, oh, no FCS school can sign anybody because they're not paying. That's not the case, because some FCS schools are paying. And out here, plus better experience. Well, define better experience. So they get a better experience. They go to a P4 more so than going to FAMU or Jackson State. Because I disagree. That's not a true statement. That's a person-to-person thing. See, and also that's an opinionated thing, right? That's subjective. You may feel that way, but I don't. Steve may feel differently. You know what I'm saying? So that's not true. That's just like I had one of my childhood friends. Y'all, he gonna know I'm talking about him too. I had a childhood friend when we were young, and you probably know his dad too. And his dad went to Jackson State. We were kids, and he was saying this thing about trying to get my partner, saying that he needed to go to Mississippi State because Mississippi State is a better school than Jackson State. Now, mind you, his dad went to Jackson State. And right. Steve, I'm like 12, 13 at the time.
Yep.
And I lit it to his dad, like schooled him. Because I was like, how you gonna say that? I was like, no, it ain't. I was like, depending on what you going to school for. I was like, so you took your bad experience, maybe 1 year at Jackson State, and now you want to instill in somebody to say that Mississippi State is better than Jackson State. I said, better how? Enlighten me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, depending on what you're majoring in, what you involved in school. Hey, are you the kind of person that just go to school to go home? Or hey, are you involved in school? It's so many factors into your experience. So when people say it's a better experience, how? Enlighten me. Put in the comments, how is it better? Quality of life better? I mean, how? You still ain't say how. What quality of life? because my quality of life was amazing at Jackson State. Absolutely amazing. I had a cousin that played at Purdue. He works for Texas Instruments right now, right? And his quality of life ain't no better than mine right now. You know what I'm saying? And I went to tons of games. Like I think I even told you, because of him, that's how I was able to go to the big house. That's how I went to Notre Dame to see him play, right? And yeah, they have things that Jackson State didn't have or FAMU didn't have, but when I went there, I didn't see nothing that tickled my fancy. Yeah, it's a bigger campus, but you know, their dorm is just as nice as the dorm I was at Jackson State. Nothing different. So I'm saying, in some instances, right? So, okay, watch this. So according to you, okay, Steve, I told you guys about my trip to Western Kentucky in the fall, right?
Yes, you did.
You know, I told you I went to Western Kentucky. And I wanted to go because it was my first time going to Kentucky. I'd never been. And so my fiance, her nephew, played running back for Western Kentucky. It was their homecoming game. And guess what? Western Kentucky don't even have a training table. It's a good football program. And one of Jackson State coaches left Jackson State and was actually there. Met him when I got there, right? Western Kentucky don't have a training table. Jackson State does. No, Jackson State don't have what I'm choosing Jackson State. I could easily say FAMU or Grambling or Southern. All our schools are different. All our schools don't have the best of everything. But the thing that I hate is, no, Jackson State doesn't have the best of everything. No, we don't have an indoor practice facility. Gremlin's about to get one, right? Tennessee State has one. But it's not about having the best of everything. It's about making use of what you got. Because here's the thing. All these schools that got all these bells and whistles, then why isn't there every last one of them are turning out football players? The Sun Belt, every school in the Sun Belt got everything that you say that they have. Better this, better that. They're not turning out football players to the league left and right. So why aren't they? Another thing, we don't have all those things, right? But then if I named every school in the Sun Belt, and that's a damn good football conference, right? FBS, right? Or even Conference USA. Well, tell me why Jackson State got more draft picks than everybody in the Sun Belt. Tell me why we got more first rounders than every school in the Sun Belt. And we didn't have that. See, my thing is, it's what you put emphasis on. But also quality of life, that's subjective. That's not a fact. That's a feeling and what you think, right? Because I remember, again, like Prime say, focus on the NFL, not the NIL. It's what you put your energy on. Man, what's my guy from Memphis? Aubrey Miller. As soon as he got done, first thing he said was, man, he came from Missouri, SEC. They got all the bells and whistles, right? And he said, man, they got all that nice stuff, man, but everybody ain't taking advantage of it. He's like, I prefer the HBCU because you come get it out the mud. You got to grind for it. You know what I'm saying? It gives you more oomph to want to go after that, right? So this whole thing about bells and whistles, okay, you got it in what? Because every school in the Sun Belt got all them bells and whistles. Got all this nice stuff. But why they turning out football players left and right? I'm just saying. Please put in the comments how they ain't turning out football players left and right. You say time to change, but the numbers ain't. The numbers ain't. So that means they got all the time to catch up on draft picks. Why they ain't catching up, Steve? I got time. I got time. So we behind the eight ball on facilities, right? I tell you what, times have changed. I'm finna really mess you up on this one. Times have changed, right? It's the year of our Lord, 2026. What if I told you that Jackson State got more first round picks since the year 2000, since times have changed, than every other school in the Sun Belt? Since times have changed. Since times have changed, every year since 2000, Jackson State got more first round picks than every school in the Sun Belt. I got time. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? You know what? I like used cars. It's mine when I get it. It's new to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just the car is what I wanted. But see, some people, they prefer, I got to get me something off the showroom floor. Everybody different. Car still the car. So my point is, how's it a better experience? Please like because see that train of thinking. You know, I say black people devalue black things. So, because again, what we always say, Steve, we want to think of HBCUs as lesser than. I would have FAMU campus, Steve. FAMU got a beautiful campus. I'll look at FAMU and say, man, your campus look good, but they ain't fucking with Florida State. I don't think that. I say FAMU got a nice ass campus. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem. That's the problem I got with that. But I'm on my soapbox, bro. You got it.
Well, I want to say something just back to EA. Look, EA, let me tell you something, bro. Now, I told you I'm internationally and locally loved. Bro, I used to represent guys from University of Miami. Go Google Alfonso Marshall. Al was one of our players we represented. He was from Clewiston, Florida. But you got to tell me, I went down there. Let me tell you this, and I want to just expound on this where people come from down there. So they had houses next to each other. And you know what them jokers in this really poor part of the city, they had these rainproof, you know, them outdoor extension cords, and they were stringing them from house to house so people could have electricity. So yeah, you ain't got to tell me, bro, about the muck. I know about the muck. Now,
I don't think the muck got the best football players in the country either. I don't. Yeah, they got good players. They got good players from
the that black mud is something special.
Okay.
When you start looking at cats that come out of there, but I want to say this though. But listen, I'm gonna give you an example of what he's saying because he said not FCS, he said D2. So that, and I'll make something simple. So that would be like, would you rather go to Miles or would you go to Auburn? Let's say Alabama. Let's say Auburn because that's powerful. That's what he's saying. I just don't believe that way these kids are wired based off of this, that they would go to Miles before they would go to Auburn. I just don't believe it because I've heard too many people come on here and tell me it's all about the money. That's all I hear. I have made this argument, Zoe, like what you just said, because I believe if you play, we had Jimmy Smith on here. See what he ended up turning out. And I saw Jimmy Smith at a young age and knew he was better than everybody else we were playing against.
I mean, Jimmy Smith ain't had nothing but 40 catches this senior year and just 3 touchdowns.
But what I'm saying, but this right here, this question, which would be Miles, would you go to Miles or would you go to Auburn? There's no way them kids are going to do that.
Well, but
they're not going to listen to what you just said, though.
But let me stop you because let me tell you what you're doing wrong and what you just said. See, the problem with what you just said is you said Miles, and that question, they ain't thinking about Miles. They're thinking about them other D2s. They thinking about Pittsburgh State. See, again, because, we're going to devalue HBCUs.
Well, that's right. Okay, listen. But I'm just any D2 that you want. You get a kid. Wait a minute. You get a kid in the SEC footprint, and you can take any D2. I'm just using it because I was trying to think in Alabama because, again, they got the D2s like that. But, again, you could take it. But I'm just saying these kids, I'm not going to believe because we have too many people that come on this show that call in and tell us, especially them primates. Remember all them primates? And that's the best thing that Prime ever did was take Shadua over there to Colorado. And you know what many NFL players said? He actually learned how to play at Jackson State.
Well, let me say this. Now, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. Let me make that clear. But I'm just saying, in that question, I can assure you they're not thinking about no HBCUs. Now, your point is still valid, but I'm gonna give you an example. So my fiance's nephew, who I told you is at Western Kentucky, right? Guess where he's at right now? He's at Tusculum.
Mm-hmm.
D2. And you look at even in that scenario, right?
Yeah.
Want to at least try to look at possibly even coming to some HBCUs at the time. Nope. Came through, cut that at D2 Tusculum. So I agree. They're not going to throw D2s over none. Again, they'll sit on that bench, whether we get paid or not, just for the optics of it, right?
Yeah.
But again, I think it's a slight to sit there and drop automatically down to a D2 anyway. But if someone want to cap and say they'll automatically do this so they can play, maybe I think that they'll say they're willing to go there and play on a 1-year rental to try to audition so they can get to an SEC school. I think that's what they're implying.
And so I just pulled it up because we're going to do a whole show on this. But I saw this a couple of weeks ago. We didn't have a chance to get into this. But this is what, again, This is LSU, Power 4, and this is what their depth chart is. Their wide receivers are getting between 800,000 and 400,000. Their whole offensive line, to your point, at the minimum, this guy, Bo Bordelon, he's getting 350. Everybody else is getting over 500,000. And Jordan Seaton, who left Colorado, getting $4 million. They defense, guys getting $1 million. They defensive backs, all of them guys other than the free set type Benefield, he's getting 390. It is just crazy.
But Steve. But I want you hold on. Go back up to offense. Go back up and look what it says. Offense, 15.79 million.
Yeah.
And then look at defense, 8 million on defense.
Yeah.
But see what
but that's inflated probably because the quarterback is getting 6.
Yeah,
hold on. So 10 million up between two players though.
That's what I'm going to tell you. But hold on. But that whole list that you see, that's just starters.
Oh yeah, that's just starters. Yeah.
Hold on, watch this. You got 105 roster spots. So, like I told you, everybody on that team is not getting paid.
No, they ain't getting life-changing money.
So watch this. Let's do a depth chart. You got 11 and 11. That's 22, right?
Yeah.
So let's double that for second stringers. Okay, that's 44. Last time I checked, 44 out of 105. That ain't even half the team.
No. See
what I'm saying? But again, everybody think everybody getting paid. I'm telling you that they're not.
Man, this and we're gonna do a whole show on this. I got everybody, all the top schools breakdown, but we're gonna move on. But so I did that to bring up about the D1 and the D2 because guess what? It was something that happened, and boy, all these people doing these thought pieces on it, and we're gonna break it down. The NCAA votes to approve age-based 5-year eligibility rule reshaping college football basketball landscape. So I'm gonna pull that up. Because I had people, I was kind of shocked. People like this is like this to me ain't no big deal, and I'm gonna break down why this ain't a big deal in a second. Because everybody's acting like this is gonna mess with some percentage, and it's not. So here we go, and this just happened a couple of days ago, last week basically. Under the new rules, and we had kind of heard about this. 5 for 5, all college athletes will have 5 years to play 5 seasons. The NCAA voted one of its most significant eligibility change ever. So that was last Tuesday. Under new rules, player will be granted 5 years of eligibility to be completed within 5 years of high school graduation or the athlete's 19th birthday, whichever comes first. There'll be limited exceptions for religious missions, maternity leave, and military service. In effect, the new rule eliminates red shirts across college sports. Under the previous system, athletes had 5 years to complete over 4. Remember that, 5 over 4. There'll be no further waiver for injury. The change was one of the many proposed by you know who, I won't say his name, and they get it. So again, the whole thing really started with COVID when they gave those kids that extra COVID year. And then this when stuff started getting backed up.
Yep.
And people basically getting 6 years. Then we start hearing these things, oh, the kid got hurt twice and he's coming back. And then we seeing people get 6, 7 years and all that stuff. And then, of course, we talked about Trinidad Chambers, who was one of the big ones that won his case to come back to get it because, hey, let's get that money, and he won that. So this will prevent Trinidad Chambers. He wouldn't have won that case with this rule that been in there. So with all rising exceptions, players are regularly pushed their eligibility to 6 to 7 years, even after the pandemic waiver expired. Rather than continue to make the case-by-case judgment, the NCAA is making a blanket change to simplify the process. Of course, in the gray area, they're going to sue. So how does it impact football? Red shirt has long been part of the game, especially for linemen. It's rare for players to be physically ready right when they get to campus, and formally keeping them out a full year was a major development. This is also true for underclassmen quarterbacks who typically have to wait their turn behind incumbents. On the positive side, if a player proves they're ready to play soon after getting on campus, they can quickly adjust. However, the cost of off-field development season could be seen as higher since it costs them real on-field reps. Could this prove a complication of offensive line play? At the extreme, the 5-year rule is likely to eliminate case which players have 6 or more years of eligibility. However, it will likely lead to more experienced players on average since players will now have up to 60 regular season games available. So basically, they could play 5 whole years. One overlooked aspect of change could be the practice of redshirting kids as they grow up. Many parents hold their kids back a year in school so they are physically able to develop, which was crazy. I mean, when I realized this was a thing, I was like, wow, this is crazy. There ain't no way you hold me back. I'd be pissed off. And then, of course, we talked about basketball, international loophole. You know, you got the 25 minute. So when I saw this, man, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is gonna be a big deal," bro. Majority of the people that play sports are done within that 5-year window in the 5 and 4 anyway.
Yep.
So now you're getting a whole 5. And you know how I know? Because I already knew this, but you know what though? Let's do a little research because Mr. Campbell had his research going on here. Because I was just like, what are we talking? What is the percentage of this? Well, these people that's getting the 6 year, not even the 7, 8 year, because that's just outliers. But the 6 year foolishness. So you know what? Let's go on and get that. So before COVID, let me see. Can you see that? Let's make that a little bit bigger. So before COVID, about 10 to 15% of D1 athletes use a traditional redshirt year, therefore remain at college athlete for 5th academic year. So only 10 to 15% of the players were getting redshirt. Athletes who competed beyond the 5 years, 6 or more, would generate, look at this, 1 to 3%. So you had the 6 year, it was only 1 to 3%. Sports with higher rates of injury, football, wrestling, baseball, produce higher percent of 6 year athletes. So even with all that being said, it was less than 10%. So we skip on down there. So this is where the category for the original. Most kids complete their eligibility just automatically in 4 years. Those that redshirt, 10 to 15%. So I don't know why everybody was making, no, that's not JUCOs. This is just D1. So I don't know why everybody was losing their mind over the 5 and 5. So I think overall in the end, because let's go back to the point what they're making. They're saying, well, a kid, offensive lineman, he still got 4 years to play.
What this does go pretty much kill redshirting.
Well, it ain't no red shirt.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's killing redshirting is all it's doing.
But my point of it is you still consider a kid for a year to develop him.
Yes.
And he still got 4.
Yeah, I know my point.
Which was the whole thing in the original, you still have 4 anyway.
That's what I'm saying. The only thing they're changing, that they're killing, is the idea of redshirting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. But here's the thing too. The only reason why people actually are really getting into it is because people tend to hang on outliers. You know what I'm saying? Or one-offs, right? So for example, Trinidad Chambers, right? And if you actually go back to a year from now, the average football fan don't even know who Trinidad Chambers is.
Right.
Because of where he was being at Fair State, right?
Right.
And so because it's him, they make a high-profile run through the playoffs and all this stuff with Lane Kiffin. Now people know who we are. They see him play, and you know, it is what it is. But here's the thing: there's not a lot of Trinidad Chambers going around. Even his situation. If you factor in the amount of people who had a chance to have their eligibility expire and then do what they did, let's just look at this football season. On high-profile cases, there were only like 3. There was only 3. The kid from Texas Tech with the gambling thing, right? And then Trinidad Chambers, and I think it was another quarterback. But 3 quarterbacks out of how many FBS programs, Steve? It's like 100 and what? It's 130 something, 130 something
like that.
That's a very small number. Think about it. That's a small number.
I know. That's what I'm saying. This is such a nothing. This is nothing.
But the problem is because of the media.
No, you get 5. You can be on a team for 5 years. The clock starts when you graduate from high school. You got 5 years to play, to actually play. So you could play as a freshman.
I thought once you enroll, the clock starts once you enroll.
Yeah, well, yeah, which would be your first year.
Yeah.
So your first year. So Jerry, so you can play 5. You come in as a freshman, you can play all the way. What's 5 years from now? 2031. But I was watching these shows, and people were like, "Oh, this is what if somebody gets hurt?" That's the same, bro. Everybody was not getting no 2 year medical red shirts. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, see, my thing is like this. I don't mind. Okay, let me get on my soapbox. I don't mind if you got fancy charts or graphs. I don't mind if you got a fancy opinion. What I do mind is when you don't have facts with any of these charts and graphs. Because I'm factual and I know my stuff. And when I'm sitting up here hearing like this is a big deal, and you all are majoring on the minor, you're talking about less than 3%. that this ain't going to be no big deal. Now, what I'm going to tell you what I do like for HBCUs, though, I'm going to tell you what I like. And I think you might agree with this. When you got schools that are recruiting well, and I think that's going to happen. Let's say when Willie was there, Jack State's recruiting, Prairie View, and especially if you got high school kids, you can start playing them kids. You could get them in there on certain packages. And that's going to help those kids out. And they're going to actually play and be involved. And I'm talking about, as they say, always stay ready so you can be ready. You could keep these guys involved, and then when game 9, 10, 11, when they've been working out and things like that, I think this is going to be excellent for freshmen. I think this is going to be excellent for freshmen, where they're going to be able to play, get experience, and not have to worry about, well, let me know he's going to play 4 games, and he got to sit up there and just have a shimmy jersey on because he can't play anymore. Now, I think this, and that's what I'm saying. I really do. I think we can get kids, because this is, to me, one of the biggest things why kids leave, because they ain't playing. And on all levels. But we'll get a kid that should stay at HBCU, and somebody lied to them, well, man, you go over here, you can go play. And those kids get stuck in the portal all the time. I've seen so many kids that go to HBCU get stuck in the portal, and now they ain't got nowhere to go. But like I said, but they've already said that, so no. But here's the thing, even as a freshman, though, Emmett, if you got a guy, and I'm just talking about, what if we're talking about game 10, 11, 12, where these kids have been working out all through the summer, you can put him in. You can play him.
He can play. I mean, I think, too, when you say that, Steve, like Emmett said, it's hard to play as a freshman, lineman, though, maybe at center. No, it's not. See, you can play, get on the field to get reps. A lot of times people think playing, they think starter. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm not talking about
and we're not saying that. We're saying you could, if you've been doing the thing at practice, especially if you're early enrolled, right? Plus, like Blue said, the amount of practice time is about to go up to have more practices in the spring. And in the summer too. I mean, in the fall ball when they start. So now you got to get more practice time in. So it's more advantageous to early enroll as a freshman, get acclimated, start your clock. And guess what? You can get valuable reps as a freshman.
Big time.
And look, TC's been doing since he's been the head coach. We played tons of freshmen at JSU. We met, we had a show about it, but we're playing ton of freshmen. And again, that's a recruiting pitch. You come here, you get developed, and you're gonna get on the field. And plus, when you see that, and you see the team having success doing it that way, winning, getting the championship game, getting championships, and you're seeing a ton of freshmen on the field making contribution and playing, that's a recruiting pitch. That's a recruiting tool. Not just by word of mouth, but you got video to back it up and show it.
So, no, I think that this is a big deal. I think that this is a big deal. Well, I think this is a no deal. That's what I really mean. And that people are acting like this is going to change or, tip some balance of power. It's not. Cass was, like I said, Cass is going to play 4. And like I said, some kids want to leave. They're ready to go. They played. They good. Now, I will say this for my HBCU guys, play the 5 and go ahead and get them masters, them 2 master's degrees and roll up down there with 3-4 degrees. Now, that's what you could do because you go to summer school.
I've always said that's the play no matter where you go to school at. Especially now since it's more prevalent to early enroll. I'm like, man, early enroll. Because, man, look, the majority of the team going to be there for all of the summer sessions anyway. So my thing is, man, early enroll, you ain't got to overload yourself, and you getting ahead. Name of the game is to graduate with your master's and with a shot to get to the NFL. That's the play.
Right.
And if you can get some NIL on top of it, it's a win-win situation all around. You have no debt. I got a shot to really get my master's with a chance to get to the NFL.
And like I said, and I'm going to say this again, potentially multiple masters. Because them boys is going to summer school. They finishing in several years, man. It's like, come on, man. It's crazy. So no, I just think that, in the end, this is a big win and stuff. Hold on. So I'm trying to pull up something real quick because it's something that's made me think about what we about to go to our next topic and everything. Because hold on one second. I want to make sure I see this is correct when I look at this before I get my joke off.
I don't I don't mind the prep schools. I mean, at the end of the day, that's still on the that's not gonna mess up nobody's eligibility. I'm just wondering how they're gonna handle with JUCO with the clock now. Are they gonna treat it like it's 1 year, or are they still gonna treat it like it's 2? So that's the only thing I'm familiar with on the 5-year window, how they're gonna handle JUCOs and eligibility. But I'm not tripping about the prep school, especially if it's just 1 year. If it's 1 year and they still can maintain their 4 years when they go up, then I ain't got a problem with it.
Right.
Because the main thing is for them to go there just so they can try to open up their recruiting. So if it's advantageous for the kid and he could benefit from it, I don't have a problem with it.
Well, so something big happened down there on 1400 Lynch Street that, as they say, blew up social media. A lot of people had their opinions on it. A lot of folks is saying big deal, no deal. Why are we even talking about it? But we're going to talk about it here on Sippin On Sundays on a Monday, Off Script Network, Rocky Mill Channel, Zoe Phillips, Mr. Campbell. Zoe, Big Perk is coming to J-Town.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, Big Perk. Carry on. So how Kendrick Perkins will assist Jackson State basketball? And I'm using HBCU sports. The school has announced that Kendrick Perkins will join the basketball program as a general manager. A move leaders say will bring added energy to fundraising, NIL initiatives, broader program development. Though the role is volunteer, JSU Athletics Director Ashley Robinson said Perkins will still be deeply involved in efforts to raise support for the Tigers. It's a volunteer role, but he's come to fundraise, Robinson told HBCU Legends. Perkins, a former NBA player and current ESPN analyst, NBA analyst, is expected to take the role in Jackson State's name, image, and likeness work, an area that has become increasingly important in college athletics. Robinson said that his pressure to expand the program's exposure and resources. This is going to be huge, Robinson said. Jackson State's coach, Trey Johnson, said Perkins' arrival marks a significant step forward for the program as it seeks to build a championship-level culture by creating new opportunities for student athletes off the court. I'm extremely excited about Kendrick Perkins joining our program as general manager, Johnson said in a statement. The partnership represents a significant step forward to building a championship program. And I believe, and not in this article, that Big Perk is going to work with the journalism school and I think marketing or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think? Well, you know what? Let me play one other thing too, because I'm gonna let you go, but I want to play this because this is going to tie into my point why I think this is important. And especially down in Jackson, because I think what people miss sometimes, that it ain't got to be for you. It could be for somebody else. And that's why it's important. But this is what was on ESPN. What? She ain't on there.
So our very own Kendrick Perkins has agreed to become the men's basketball general manager at Jackson.
Wait a minute. Let me make sure I got that big. Okay, so this is Perk. This is on. Yeah, this happened on First Take. So this is the clip from First Take. So we're gonna play this right now.
Jackson State, along with his work with the basketball team, he'll also have a connection to the school's broadcast and journalism program. Perk will remain in his role with ESPN as well. And so, Stephen A., what's your reaction to Perk being named GM of Jackson State men's basketball?
I love it. I love it. I love it a lot. I love anytime, any of us, people that are, covering it on television, people like Jay, Big Perk, others who are on television, you have an impact and you have the ability to influence lives. And when you get in these guys' face, and you're going to be as candid and direct and front as Big Perk is, I think that only serves to benefit all parties involved. Plus, it's going to bring recognition, even more recognition to HBCUs, because Big Perk is a popular dude. So I love it. I'm thankful for his participation. And he called me to let me know that this was coming down the pike. I'm really proud of him.
So our very own Kendrick Perkins has agreed to become.
So hold on one second. I got one thing though that I got to show. I'm gonna let you go. So, we always say, are they gonna claim us though? Is he gonna really put his heart into it? So I had to go check on something because there was another school that's got a big name coach, and they were kind of upset. So I just wanted to go take a look at something, Zo.
Hold on,
And
today,
I want you to
right?
Look at this. Zo, look at that, Zo.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see? Look at that, Zo, right here.
I see it.
Now, I'm just saying, just asking the question. Now, if Perk ain't only been on the job and he volunteering, he didn't even get a check. And he can at least he put Go JSU Tigers in his profile. We can't get certain coaches to put something in their profiles. So, I'm not hating. I'm just asking the question. I'm just saying he's not getting paid because I'm saying because this was the argument. I don't Facebook groups, but I'm gonna use it. Jack State, he ain't getting paid. He ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna do that. He ain't getting paid. But bro, we got people get paid and they ain't gonna at least acknowledge. So I'm just saying, man. So listen, I'm just gonna tell you. So I'm gonna let you take it on. I'm gonna let you rock on this because this is your school officially. But I'm gonna say this. I'm from Jackson. I love it. Because let me tell you one thing about Jackson. Jackson know how to treat stars right. And I'll tell you something. If Perk come down there and do a football season, and they Jackson State go out meet and greet over there at the M-Bar, shout out to M-Bar K Riggs. Jackson State gonna raise some money. I'll tell you that right now. And Big Perk gonna have the best time down there at Jackson State. And for all that matters, and on this on a side note, because he is big as somebody that follows the AU circuit, he is huge. Influencer, his kids play AU, he coaches it, he follows it. This to me is a big deal when you see a guy that comes ahead. Now he's volunteer, so I don't know how much he's gonna do, so, but I'm gonna tell you this: if y'all can get him on campus, unlike LeBron coming to FAMU, I think y'all can. I think this is a win-win. And I'm just saying, just the fact that he put it in his bio already means that y'all beat one school already. What you got to say, Zo?
I'm gonna say something. And everybody ain't gonna like it, but I'm gonna make a point though. It's out there because when we talk about HBCU sports, Jackson State is a lightning rod. Point blank period. It's a lightning rod. You wanna know how I can make that example? Because Steve, I'll have you know, literally a week before this announcement came out about Kendrick Perkins, there was another well-established HBCU that made an announcement that they had a general manager too. And it didn't go nowhere. John Wall's the general manager for Howard. Just made the announcement the week before Kendrick Perkins. Why we ain't talking about it? Why they ain't out there? Why they ain't everywhere? And this Howard, HU.
Now, I'm gonna push back because it was a couple of weeks before that. But I do think, and I will say on regional, because we do cover it, but I do think that was a big deal. I'm gonna say, I didn't say it.
Nah, I didn't say it wasn't a big deal.
I believe that was some fanfare.
It was some fan, but it ain't like Kendrick Perkins. It ain't close. It ain't even close. It ain't. So my point is, Jackson State is more of a lightning rod, right? But also, in this space, I'm just gonna say this, man. It's a great move for Jackson State. I'm gonna tell you why. Not just from an NIL standpoint, not from a relationship standpoint, even for the optics. Jack State didn't win the SWAC last year. Jack State hadn't been there, right? You adding a brand new coach in Trey Johnson. Mo Williams left. Before Mo Williams, you had Coach Wayne Brent before then didn't win. And let me fill you in something else too, Steve. When you think of SWAC basketball, probably Texas Southern comes to mind when you talk about championship things of that matter, right? If you go over to the MEAC, who comes to mind with winning in the MEAC, Steve, in basketball? You tell me. Norfolk?
Central.
Okay, Central. Okay, that's right, yeah, Central. And then, you go D2, Winston-Salem State. You got all these other programs, right? You want to take a guess at which HBCU would send more players in the NBA out of all the HBCUs?
I'm sure you can tell us.
Jackson University. Jackson State sent more players to the NBA than any other HBCU. So my thing is, but we don't necessarily just have the winning pedigree in basketball. We've won the SWAC, but it's going to be Texas Southern and they're probably Alcorn when it comes to men basketball within the SWAC. But Jackson State sent more players drafted to the NBA than any other HBCU. So my thing is, there's something there. And Steve, you know this as I know this, to the world or to the masses. Mississippi is a football state, but the city of Jackson is what, Steve?
Oh, has a whole bunch of that in the Gulf Coast. None but ballers.
The city of Jackson is a basketball city. And the SWAC, a lot of the great players in the SWAC, they hail from Jackson, Mississippi. Best players at Texas Southern, Jackson, Mississippi.
Here, Machine Gun Kelly.
So my thing is, when we get down to it, you know, Jackson's basketball city. Kendrick Perkins coming from, you know what I'm saying, where he came from, you know, Port off. Houston, got inroads to Mississippi, up at ESPN, NFL, former NBA player, still tied to the league, obviously covering the league at ESPN. He got contacts, man, on both sides of the gambit, on the TV side and within the NBA in the circle. So again, from a recruiting standpoint, I mean, it's a great deal. The main thing is NIL, getting resources in, anything that you can do outside the court to, hey, bring in greater players, helping with financials, you know what I'm saying, to attract better players. It's a win-win because it's Jackson State. This is not Texas Southern doing this, you know what I'm saying, which is in Houston. We're talking about Jackson State, who's not just a basketball commodity, but again, has a historical presence in regards to talent. You talking about the Short brothers, Lindsey Hunter, Dwayne Winfield. You know what I'm saying? We can actually get into the thing. Ryan Lothridge. So, but again, it's a great move. Great move. Anybody else who has something different to say about it is just hate, conjecture, and just I want to kneel it because I don't like it. I want to have something negative to say about it because we ain't said nothing about our program. That's all it is.
So when I saw this, and I saw the again I know it, so I ain't got no problem because you know we all having fun. And people gonna discount what anybody else do because I'm gonna make a point about FAMU in a second, but I'm gonna hold that for 1 second. Why this stuff does matter. Because here's the thing: Kendrick Perkins, like him or not, is on TV 5 days a week, and that matters. And if he has the energy enough, at least to put y'all name in the bio, I believe he's gonna take his job serious. And I'm gonna say this again, and this is what I try to explain to somebody. There are two types of GMs. You got actual GMs that do GM stuff like NIL, money, you know, I'm talking about paying people, contracts, roster construct. He ain't doing none of that. They don't need him to do that. That's not his expertise. Now, can he tell your coach on the AAU circuit, hey, I've seen this kid, he could be a player at the level, or 100%. Basketball players, no basketball players. That's facts. But the biggest thing is, I'm going to say this again. Brain Perk, homecoming, Jack State FAMU, giving that catfish, coleslaw, and a cold beer, and y'all going to raise $15,000, $20,000 just right out the rip. I'm saying that right now. Because people in Jackson like stuff like this. All them people in Jackson, all them watch First Take. I guarantee you start indexing places, Jackson always is more than anybody else.
Well, I can tell you like this, he'll be in Nashville.
You gonna be in Nashville? You can believe that? You already know that inside information?
Perk will be in Nashville.
Okay. Hey, listen. So I'm gonna say that, but so here's the thing. We got a coach, Heisman Trophy winner, played for the Knicks. I'm gonna show you something just real quick, Zoe, just to let y'all know that my boy, and I'm gonna go to my Twitter.
I see recruiting.
Yeah,
I play recruiting history.
Wait. Hey, listen, but this is the difference. And let me see. You know, probably let me go. I probably might be fast if I do it this way. Because Charlie Ward, Charlie Ward. There we go. Because this boy here has been on fire. But I want you to see something. Here we go. Where is that? Let me just pull this up. Because this right here is it. I'm gonna tell you something. The one thing the SWAC is known for is guards, but no size. You just see, you look at a team, you're gonna have 2-3 guys, you're gonna have the 1-6'8" guy, right? You're gonna have a 6'4" guy, and then everybody else gonna be 6'2" and 6'3". But I'm gonna show you what Charlie Ward is bringing in. So, of course, it's Charlie Ward right there. We just signed a 6'10" guy, this white boy. We just signed a 6'7" guy, wing. We just signed another 6'7" guy. We just signed a 7'3" guy. We signed this boy here. This boy is 6'5". It's a Puerto Rican boy. I was ready to recruit. And I think this kid here, this kid is like 6'3". And we just signed a highest rated recruit. 6'5", 4-star. So literally, we're going to have the tallest team in the SWAC. Ain't no team, when you say 6'7", those are centers in the SWAC. Charlie has gone nuts recruiting. And I'm talking about recruits. But I say that because you know why? Charlie has been always on the AAU circuit. He coached high school. He has NBA contacts. So I say that to say those type of things matter because this bar none is the recruiting class. And I'm talking about guys that with size and family. Got that number 2 slot. We ain't playing around. We ain't playing around, so I'm just letting you know. Y'all better get to work because I see you. You got your little guards and stuff that Prairie View talking about. We got 6'7" guys. We got 6 guys that are over 6'5".
Hey,
Charlie
best score in the conference won 6 feet last year.
I get that. I get that. I ain't arguing that. But size matters. Size matters. Size matters.
But I'm just saying that the best score in the conference was 6 feet tall.
I get that. I get that. But I tell you one thing: when you got guys 6'7", 6'7", 6'9", 6'5", 6'4", 6'3", now you start playing basketball. And Charlie Ward coach. So let's get back to this Kendrick Perkins thing, and then we're gonna put a bow on this thing. When you see these type of moves that a HBCU makes with a Kendrick Perkins, how we talked about John Wall and things like that, how important is it for the school to really?
You froze up, Steve. I don't know if you can hear me.
Like
You froze up. You froze up, dog.
Can you see me?
I hear you now.
Okay. So one of the things, close on this. I just think when I see this, I think these are good moves. Like the John Wall move, I love that for Howard. I love that. I think that's a great fit.
I do too.
He played for the Wizards. I think he brings value. He also is on the circuit. I think with Kendrick Perkins, and again, it was just like with Dion. When I saw Kendrick Perkins is Jackson country. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be out of his element in Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You froze again, dog.
What about now?
There you go.
Yeah. If he comes back.
I was just going to say, it's in all seriousness, I think it's a home run for Jack State. I think and I think there are some stipulation as to why he's a volunteer as opposed to being on salary. But again, I think what he can do and how Jack State can benefit from it, I think it's a good marriage for him, especially segueing from being, what he's doing on the AAU circuit to get into the college world and still have his hands, around the NBA, being that he's covering the game And the one thing that you see from Kendrick Perkins, he's all basketball all day long.
Yeah.
All basketball all day long. So, and again, having Jackson State and being attached to that day in, day out is going to be a benefit to Jackson State. Like I said, from a NIL standpoint, from a recruiting standpoint, and other things that we aren't even speaking on in regards to logistics, how they move, how they do what they do. I think all of that will come into play.
Yeah. Yeah. And that might be a thing, because that is depending on what the position is, that does matter. So, but again, I think that overall, and again, Zoe, do you know this or not? Because I've heard that him and the coach, they boys. That they boys. Now, I don't know you. So is your basketball coach? Because I don't know anything about your basketball. Is he from Texas?
Oh, Trey?
Yeah.
Oh no, Trey is straight from Jackson. Was the lead Trey played at Jackson State? He was the lead scorer in the country when he played at Jackson State.
Okay, well I know you played. I didn't know, but
Trey is from Jackson. Played at Murrah.
Okay. He's a Murrah guy. Okay.
They played at Murrah. Like I said, at Jackson State, led the nation in scoring at 27 points a game. While the Jackson State was the star player on the team the last year we won our conference title in 2007. Trey is straight. His dad, Clifford Johnson, was the principal at Callaway. Like he man, they yeah, man, he's Jacktown Jew through and through. But no, Trey also played in the NBA. Trey played with the Lakers quite a few stints on a couple of not a couple. He started out on a couple of 10-day contracts and then actually ended up making the roster, staying with them through the playoffs for 2 seasons. But played great in the CBA. But if I remember correctly, Trey played with the Lakers and I want to say the Hornets when they were in New Orleans, I believe. Don't quote me on that though. But damn good player, man. Like I say, and he was a teammate of Mo's at Murrah as well. So, but yeah, he played ball in the city, man. Back when JPS was doing his thing. So yeah, he's an alum. Him and with Tyler still on staff too, but Tyler with the Brandon, Tyler Adams.
Okay.
And played at Georgetown.
So I know some folks. So I'm working. Now I know, like I say, they might not let them do it because y'all ain't did y'all big thing, but folks like me. We might have Big Perk on the show next couple weeks, so just like I'm put it out there. I don't care because me, if I say it, I'm gonna do it. So I'm just letting y'all know because y'all know I know folks. So if he pop up on him, we ain't gonna put him on the fly. We just gonna have him pull up, so and just mess all these folks' heads up with what I'm about to do with this thing. But I just think that is great, man. Like I said, we'll see. And so last thing I'll close out with, we're gonna have this as an open item for next week. So you on the no chill with those young brothers, man. That was a great show. So each week they were doing, breakdowns, and you guys did a great job. Everybody that represented the school did a great job. But so I had one bone to pick, and we're going to have to do a show on this. Everybody that represented their school for some kind of reason was either going 11-1 or 9-3. I just need to know how that's possible. I just need to know how that's possible. How is it that everybody on that, when they pulled every team, they had a brother, and because I will remember this. The brother from Bethune-Cookman. Hey, listen, and let me tell you something. Next week, hey man, I'm gonna say this. Let me say this. This is my baby right here. She did one in the life of Miss Script. I had to call Scott. I said, boy, you got your cute little wife, cute little baby, and you got your brand new house, boy. Get out, my boy. Get out. Get out. So I'm just saying that. But so, is it? They got the people on there, and my boy, your boys is picking, and everybody for some reason. My man from Bethune-Cookman said they was going 11-1. 11. So now listen, Bethune-Cookman has the bomb squads, and I'm gonna tell you what a lot of people don't know. Before Bethune-Cookman came to the SWAC, which everybody was showing, they had won their last 16 games. They were the only HBCU other than the year after that had beat Grambling. They went to. I was at the game because I was sponsoring Grambling, but my boy said they was going 11-1. The only person that, hey, listen, shout out my boy Wild. The only person that told that truth, and I'm not saying you didn't tell the truth. Your expectations, Jackson State, are more realistic. I think anybody saying Jackson State 9 and something, 10 and something, that's realistic. But I'm talking about everybody else, right? Everybody else. People had Prairie View running the table. people talking about, you know, and shout out to Blue. They call him Zach. I call him Blue. Blue pitched hit for like 3 teams. And even made fun that Valor was going to win 5-6 games.
Mm-hmm.
But, bro,
Mm-hmm.
how is it? So, explain this to me. How is everybody looking at their schedule and they think everybody's winning 9 games? 9 plus.
They can't take the fandom out. They can't take their school color glasses off. Now, see, if you go back and watch it, I actually said, you know, I'm giving it to us because of the ease of the non-conference slate, right? And you know, I'm barred from talking about Jack State's schedule, so I'm not. Gonna but you know, it's the ease of Jack State's schedule. You know, Jack State has the least resistance, I'll say.
Yeah.
With the non-conference slate. Plus, when you look at conference games, who we have at home and what's on the road, and then and just the layout of the schedule, which it kind of favors a lot of like last season. The only difference is, which I stated in my opinion, the swing games that we would have would be, to me, Grambling, FAMU, and Alabama State. We don't play Prairie View in the regular season. Those are the swing games, right? Alabama State being what it is late in the season, Grambling being the first real true road test. And if you asked, I said, you know, but I'll say it here. I said it on the show, but I'll say it here. Yes, I know that we beat Grambling in the spring season, but to me, I just felt like until we beat Grambling in the whole, in the regular season game, that I picked Grambling on that game. Mm-hmm. Right? Do I believe we can win? Of course I do. But I went with Grambling in the game. And then we got FAMU at home. I put that as one of our swing games, and then Alabama State, obviously. Those were my swing games for the season. But again, like I said last year, similar to Prairie View, we have the least resistance. You know what I'm saying? So the schedule is favorable for us to have success.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you think about it. We open up the season against Tennessee State on the road. We should win that game. You got the next 2 games against D2 schools, both at home. Okay, you're 3-0, and then now you have Southern coming to the Vet, which is a very winnable game. So, okay, so now you're 4-0. Right. Then your first test after that is Grambling. So I mean,
hold on one second. We got Sippin On Sundays on a Monday, Mr. Campbell, Zoe Phillips. But you know what, though? Sometimes you got to get a little outspoken. Sometimes you got to get a little outspoken on a Monday.
What up, dude?
What's good to you, man? What's good to you? What's y'all up to?
You ain't got no mic, that nigga.
You said what?
Yeah, you ain't got no mic. You gotta speak up, boy.
I don't got none of my equipment. I ain't got nothing for nothing.
So I'm over here roughing it through my phone. I will say this, because I cannot speak ill of any team,
right, based
on the bylaws that I have been told. But what I will say is, I do agree with Zoe. That Tennessee State game, though, people listen.
Uh-oh.
If it's one thing that Barlow is good at, is finding talent. He's a very good talent evaluator. And how does Lee Corso say? Not so fast, my friend.
So fast, my friend.
Well, if you go with Barlow in college, he's never really been good early in the season.
Again, he's a good talent evaluator. That's all I got. But he my guy. Now again, the defensive coordinator, I don't agree with the hire. I think you could have went in a better direction. I told him that personally. You know, hey, teach his own. But I think talent-wise, he's going to have a great team. Now, just in the diaspora of SWAC football, Prairie View's still going to be Prairie View. I think when you got, and let me just say this, because I know Said was saying some stuff. Let me say this. I was on the bandwagon of picking them to, I think I had to win like 9 or 10 games that season.
Yep. Yep.
No, we said. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna remind you. We both said the same thing because remember, it's like Jack said this year. Their schedule, they had the least resistance, and the schedule was set up.
So easy. Like,
Yeah, it was so easy.
It didn't make any sense. So,
and when we said it, it was like, "Oh, you're hating." I'm like, "No, we're just saying the schedule is not."
And on top of that, I was a big fan of Tremaine Jackson when he got hired. I think I was probably one of his biggest fans. Anyway, so let's just cut the malarkey on that, okay? You know what I'm saying? So, I got to use words like malarkey now. So
I was about to say that.
Exactly. Listen, you gotta use all the words I told you to use that you didn't use. Because let me go ahead. Well, Mr. Campbell, this outspoken. We got to say what we say. Had a whole plug. I said, bruh.
Malarkey. Okay.
Well, go on, give me one of these.
let's cut the malarkey.
Gorn.
Oh man, so what the French toast? Okay, so you got that. Going into the East, I mean, it's going to come down to two teams. Let's just keep it a buck. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be, what does Andrew look like with the State, and what does Jackson look like with the new quarterback at the helm? That's just, I mean, that, you've been saying that since I've been in the space, Mr. Campbell. If you ain't got no quarterback, you ain't got no chance. You know what I'm saying? So it comes down to those two. And everybody else is fighting. Everybody else has to prove themselves.
What you think about A&M this year, though?
I think us getting Quad back was huge, right? Because you just kind of need a stabilizer. You need somebody who's going to stabilize the ship. I've been at a lot of practice. We got a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. I tell people to be on the lookout for a kid, Jordan Smith. I think his name is Jordan Smith Chambers or Jordan Smith, something like that. But he's a wide receiver, A1. If he doesn't get a preseason pick on one of those wide receivers list, he was snubbed. Defensively, I want to see it come together. I want to see them take that next step defensively, and in the Sam Shade era. Listen, I think out of everything, I was a big Texas Southern fan until I saw who was at the helm, and I was just like, yeah, I'm good on that. I thought they were really, because the one thing about Texas Southern, they're very disciplined. They're not flashy. They're not going to blow you away with
except the Prairie View game last year.
Right.
Fair.
I was
fair,
just
right?
You beat me to the joke.
But it was the first game of the season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I mean, the coach, he has a very, I've always said he has a very Bill Belichick demeanor, right? So they're not going to wow you with anything, but they're very disciplined, very, hard nosed. But I just didn't understand the quarterback. I didn't understand the quarterback decision. Like, why go there? I did not understand that. So, Southern, anybody's guess is as good as mine. I mean, has anybody heard anything from Southern? I haven't. Anyway, moving on. I think Gramblin's gonna be scary. I just think it's something about that boy Mickey Joseph, man. He always got something up his sleeve, and he's beaten Jackson the last 2 times. Like when he didn't have the better team. So that's gonna be Gramblin's gonna be very sneaky. And who else? I think that's it. Let me think. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I got. Again, that's all I got.
See, I'm gonna tell you. See, this is what we should. So let me tell you what we should do. We should pull out NCAA 2026, 2027, right? And just say we're doing a dynasty, and just happen to just pick games in a dynasty. You know what I'm saying? And if they just happen to match up, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing. I'm just saying we talking dynasty mode. We ain't talking about nobody. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we have a dynasty.
You gotta have like teams like, instead of it being Southern, it'd be like Southwest.
1,400.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of it being
on the hill,
1,400 is 1,500. You know what I'm talking about?
Y'all got an AI team, though.
and if they just happen to look a little certain way.
If it's blue, if they just happen to have, blue and white pom-poms, you know what I'm saying, with gray in it. You know what I'm saying? Just by chance, you know what I'm saying? Instead of it being like Bethune, you'd be like,
You know what? It just dawned on me. It just dawned on me because you know you off air now, but your ass be in practice every day though.
I'll talk to you offline.
hey. So let me tell you what's so funny about this boy right here. But first of all, okay, wait, but first of all, let me just say something right now. You can tell this boy getting a check on the 1st and 15th. Look at how fat and nice his face look, boy. You eat them steak and potatoes now, boy. You ain't around there. You eat that good food now, boy. Boy, your face is full.
I just had a steak sub tonight. But no, like, it's funny. Dr. Williams, he saw me on Saturday. He's like, man, you getting fat. I said, yeah, I know. My wife said the same thing.
Boy, hey, man, listen, you know, that's like when the king, you know how they always show the king? That means you're prosperous, my boy. You're prosperous, my boy.
I need to get into the gym. I really do.
Hey.
I need to be on the zone stuff.
Hey, I'm talking in code. Progress report still good.
Mine is
Yeah, hers as well. I
bet.
I gotta get back right.
Hey, so it's working. Working?
Yeah, she said it's working for her.
Bet.
Yeah, she said it's working for her.
Bet.
What you got? What you got? 1,500 going.
What did I say? Oh, I think I said either 9 or 2, 10 and 1. But
y'all ain't got no Power 4 games.
No, I said the schedule. Hold on, I'm barred from talking about Jack State's schedule. The schedule is easy, so that's why I said that way because, like, okay, for example, like I said, open up against Tennessee State. You got 2 D2 schools. You're 3-0 there. You got Southern at home. That's 4-0. First real test game of the season. After that, you got Grambling on the road in the hole. I said that's a swing game, but I picked us to lose. I said I'm going to pick us to lose until we win. Can we win that game? Sure we can, but I picked us to lose that game. Okay, so now you're 4-1. The only tough games on that slate is FAMU and Alabama State. Alabama State is the next to last game. That's a swing game, so I didn't choose it. I believe we can win, but I didn't choose it. I said that's one of your swing games at FAMU. And the reason why I'm actually saying FAMU is a swing game is because of the quarterback that they got.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I got us in every game we play.
Yeah.
After Grambling. That's why I said the schedule sets up.
Yeah, and the thing that makes him so dangerous is he's been with that coach for the last 2 years.
Exactly.
That's what makes him so dangerous. It's not
exactly.
really. And again, I've always said this about FAMU. You can spin around 3 times, throw a rock, and hit a kid who runs a 4.3. You know what I'm saying? So it's not hard to find speed around him and to get what he needs. But to be in a system that coach doesn't have to worry about you understanding it and you teaching it to the other players.
In year one, it's an asset.
That's huge. That's huge. So
let the route say. Let me say this. This goes back to what we talking about. Everybody talking about 9 and 3 and everybody going 10 and 1. Scott, because they're doing the pick shows, right, and stuff like that. And it always tickles me when people come to FAMU, and I'm just like, y'all do realize at the worst we got the 3rd best quarterback in the conference. At worst.
Who's the second best? I already know who number 1 is.
I'm gonna give Lockhart credit coming in with
number 2 is crazy.
So listen, however you want to mix it, I'm just saying because he's playing at this level. So my point of it is to the point, but I'm sticking on FAMU. This is not my judgment on Lockhart. I said at the worst. This is what I said. At the worst, FAMU has a quarterback that has played more than everybody else's.
No.
Not more than Andrew.
Not more than Andrew. I'm talking about far as the one I'm naming. Of these
outside of Andrew.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And for you, if y'all sitting up there thinking that we only going to win 4 games, you crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, you, like I say, so I'm like, you don't know.
If we ranking quarterbacks, it would have to go 1. Need I say more? Okay, like
hold on, because see, I'm being a minority. So see, to me, okay, first off, we don't have a lot of returners coming back in the conference.
That is true.
But I'm gonna say for the second year in a row. But I'm gonna say this. To me, I think his bull jive is the disrespect to Quad Brown. To me,
I was just about to go there.
Now,
Because anybody who watch like Quad Brown is a dog.
He's a
The main I'm gonna say this. The main thing for Quad Brown, though, for a kind of different reason, I'm attached to Jared Lockhart, is that Quad Brown his whole career can't stay healthy. That's his only thing. That dude can ball. If he can stay healthy, bro. That's why I asked you about A&M, because I think, because again, you gotta mention year 1 and year 2. You know what I'm saying? You gotta expect for them to be better just because it's year 2 and have a continuity, and you got the same quarterback coming back.
Yeah.
You know, again, fix that defense. Alabama A&M could actually be a player in the East. But I got Quad. Everybody's look. You got Andrew. You got Quad Brown. Then to me, then
I would say Lockhart would be number 4 for me.
And
Well,
because I would put Zay in front of Lockhart just because of off of, you know, one the court. I mean, him and the coach, and then his play. You know, his tenure playing. But number 1 would be Drew. Number 2 would be Quad. Number 3 would be Zay. Number 4 would be Lockhart. And to me, that's no slouch for a freshman coming into his sophomore year to be ranked as the number 4
It's
guy.
not right now. Lockhart. The only thing right now that Lockhart has when we talk about stats and everything else is that he's undefeated as a starter. He's 5-0 as a starter. But outside of that, you don't have anything to hang your hat on. You know what I'm saying? From a stat wise, or you know, he has measurable. Right now, you can say, man, he got measurables and he's 5-0 as a starter. But again, that's it. But see, to me, we drink the Kool-Aid when we say that record, because again, it's not like we were 5-0 solely because of him. You see what I'm saying?
Fair.
We're 5-0 because of the defense and the running game that we had. You know what I'm saying? So because you go back to the games that we played and then who we were playing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing. And this is not to slight him. He's got to take a step up from year 1 to year 2. We got to see that. But from a skill set, yeah, we can see the skill set. But I couldn't disagree with that because again, Drew's gonna be number 1. I mean, I would almost go so far to say 1A and 1B, but Andrew has won more games, and then Andrew, just a higher profile. But if you just watch ball and just watch him, man, Quad Brown is right there. Yeah, talent-wise.
You're absolutely correct. The only thing that separates Drew would be 1A for me is because of his legs.
Yes.
If we're doing arm for arm, Quad is right there, and I would say even to a smidgen be above Drew, but when it comes to arm talent. But when you just talk about a physical athlete, like mentally,
yeah, no, you went down. You went. Hey, Scotty, your mic went down. Like put your phone back wherever you had it.
My bad. Can you hear me now?
There you go. There you go.
My bad. So for me, I think for like when you're talking about arm talent, I think Quad has a just a kind of, he's a little bit above him, but just physical, like athlete, like a gamer. There's nobody I'd rather have than Drew. There ain't nobody I'd rather have in a game. Like I gotta have it. Yeah, give me number 1 all day, every day.
Well, see, this is the reason why I said, and I don't know, Scott, how much you listen to it, and we just kind of me and Zoe gonna get to that picking. We gonna legitimately pick, but this is why I said this is why Eddie Robinson got to be this year, because he got everybody coming to the crib. You got Jack State coming down there. You got FAMU rolling down there. Of course, the Magic City Classic is what it is. So I gotta say, and you want Andrew Body to show out. You want him to show out. New offensive coordinator. So
Alabama Tech, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't speak on, the university. So Alabama Tech, I'm gonna say this. At the
you know what you can say to school down south?
No, we call it Gulf State.
Alabama Tech. I'm gonna call it Alabama Tech, right? At the end of the day, it's one of those, like, it's you want to call it a prove it year, like you got to put it all together because you're not going to have it. Because to me, I thought last year was the year that like the 1 yard line. I'm never going to forget that. Like, you're 1 yard away from going to the SWAC championship. So now you're back in it. You're in the mix. You bring your quarterback back when, let's just be honest, he should be, anyway, but you bring him back and now you have to retool everything. But the best thing I gotta give Eddie Robb some kudos for this one. Tony Hall. Tony Hall is going to make Andrew look different. Just is going to come a lot easier for him than it has in the past in how he does offensively. So I think Tony Hall is going to be a huge asset to Drew. The question is for Bama Tech is, can they get that defense back to where it was?
That's a big thing.
2 to 3 years ago. Because if you give Drew a top 5 defense, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Everybody's in trouble. Everybody's in trouble. Lottie-dottie, everybody. So that's what it's going to come down to. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're watching Remember the Titans, you know, you get that defense together. You know what I'm saying? I worry about my offense. You get that defense. That's what it's going to come down to. So we'll see what it looks like. But I've said this to Zoe, and I'm going to say it to the people out there. This year, I don't know if I'm like super excited. Nothing really about this season is really getting me like juiced to be like, oh, I can't wait. Because one, you don't know what Southern's going to be or look like. Now, again, you're bringing back Trey Holly. And if Marshall Faulk does anything, I mean, Trey Holly is going to be the man. I mean, if you give him a full offseason, he get in shape. That's a kid I do not want to see. Okay, that kid is a monster. Now, I'm assuming they're going to go to a 2-back system to where, you know, he gets some relief and stuff like that. But again, it's going to come down to what the quarterback going to look like. So it is what it is. I think overall, I think everybody has a play in it, but the top dogs are still the top dogs until they get knocked off. So,
no, I totally agree with that. I think here's what I will say. This is one of the first years where there's no overwhelming favorite to me.
Fair.
I think this is the year where everybody, like you got, I think that it's very obvious if you just want to say, and I'm going to give T-Jack his credit, even though I'm still, you know, they say they bringing all these guys. I'm concerned about the quarterback. They say what they say is not what I heard. Okay. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
But I'll just say Jackson State, Alabama State, Prairie View, they're all in that mix. And then everybody else is really bunched up.
Yeah.
Everybody else is really, because like I say, Southern is not going to be 2-10 next year. Southern's not going to be 2-10 next year.
They might be 1-11.
Well, I tell you one thing, if that's the case, then they really got a problem. FAMU's going to be better.
The real question though, is how many games Valley winning?
Hey, listen. Hey, let me tell you this. Hey, Scotty. I'm gonna say this. FAMU raised $450,000 just so Coach can have whatever he needed to win that game. I can tell you that right now. 400, bro. When you raise $450,000, do you hear what I just said? $450,000.
Hey, I bet you that game gonna be packed at Bragg.
Oh, bro, listen. We listen, bro. We bring a Sage. Listen, bro. Because I cannot have. And you know what though? You know, like I say, I'm gonna say this because this dude here, shout out to Israel. He from Jackson. I don't need Israel making his Valley jokes, his 237 jokes, and all that stuff like that. So we got to shut that down. So I'm telling you right now, I've already told him, and I get T-Bucks my guy. But I'm telling you, if you don't think Quinn Gray trying to put 60 to 70 on them boys, y'all don't know Quinn Gray. I'm telling you that right now. Y'all don't know. Nah, we shutting all that down. We got to get back to where it was supposed to be.
So I got a question. I got a question. So FAMU not going. They banned from the postseason, but they gonna play the games. And
FAMU banned.
Yeah, we got the APR banned.
So hold on. So let's say FAMU have.
You know what? I'm not gonna do it. Hey Scott, and I'm like you. I'm on a ban. I can't say what I'm about to say.
Hold on. So let's say FAMU have a winning record, but they lose to Valley. What does that do for their season?
That's not gonna happen. Because see, you can't have one or the other. I'm just telling you. You can't see. I can't. That's not a question. That's not even acceptable. I'm telling you right now, because you got what. Like I say, I will say thank you, Valley. Because sometimes you need those. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need it because because literally, I will say this: if that former coach, I won't say his name, had won that game, he'd be our coach right now. So sometimes you need that. But no,
but I'm saying this season, what if FAMU has to win the season?
I'm trying to tell you, it can't be no either or. That has to be part of the wins. That 100% has to be part of the win. I'll tell you right now. And again, we will do this. We play Jackson State homecoming. We play Alabama State for homecoming. We play back-to-back Valley and Bethune-Cookman. And I'm telling you right now, everybody knows 2-0 got to be 2-0 in them games. We'll give Jackson State because we know, like I said, what you got coming back.
Where is Jackson at? Where's that? Is that Brad?
That's Jackson State's homecoming. We go to Jackson.
That's their homecoming?
That's their homecoming.
Boy, Ashley, no, he trying to get paid.
And the 100 coming. And the 100 coming.
And the 100 coming?
Oh, listen, bro, that was already because, listen, and the 100 coming.
Oh man, listen, I might. What day is that? I might have to slide on down to Jackson.
Bro, listen, shout out to my boy K Riggs. You know, we get that thing, D breakdowns. Got to have to figure out how to do that. Have that live broadcast over there.
AD Brian did hit it.
We got a great game too at homecoming with Grambling. So
wait a minute now. Is the G-Man coming? Wait a minute, y'all bring the G-Man down there for homecoming?
I'm just saying.
The doghouse is gonna be.
The doghouse is gonna be jumping. Listen,
doghouse gonna be jumping.
It's gonna be a show regardless.
Wait a minute. Pause. Hold on. Wait a minute. This dude on somebody's camera and talking about a dog pound in Alabama A&M.
Yeah, the dog houses, they jumping. They gonna be jumping.
Hey, boy, shit the chain from a year ago.
Listen, man. It's who signs my checks.
Listen. Hey, listen.
Who no longer signs my checks. Okay?
Oh, man.
That's a beautiful thing, ain't it? Hey, so I already told him he only a couple of semesters away from being a gatekeeper.
Man, I should have recorded this shit.
He only a couple of semesters away from being a gatekeeper. That's why I can't wait till he turns to a gatekeeper.
First of all, y'all need to buy y'all season tickets. Get your Alabama A&M season tickets.
I got a wedding to pay for.
Oh yeah. That's different. No. All the people in the comments, get your Alabama A&M season tickets.
Donate to the honeymoon fund.
We gonna have that link up. But Scott, this is what I think what we should do. I think what we should do. I should send you 5 sanitized topics.
Not sanitized.
Sanitized topics that you will be allowed to speak on, and then you can jump on Sippin On Sundays and talk about those 5 sanitized topics, and then the topic that you ain't supposed to, you can, like a hostage video, you could just blink.
Moonwalk them juggles back.
Yeah, I ain't say it. I technically didn't say it. You know what I'm saying? So the funny thing is, I'm gonna talk to AD tomorrow, see if I do outspoken, can I do it in the AI form? Like, we're not talking about the team, but we're talking about the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, just come with a whole bunch of AI teams.
Yeah.
So we're technically not talking about them, but hey, who knows? So.
But man, listen, the most important thing, man, is to keep that job. We're proud of you, man. Hey, listen, and Quiet kept over and under. People say you weren't gonna be there for 6 months, so you've actually beat some of the bets. I'm just letting you know. Just word on the street was he wasn't gonna be there for 6 months.
I need all that pool money. Thank you very much.
So you there, man. You there. Protect the check, protect the babies, and everything, man. Anything else? Before we shut you down, cause like I said, we don't want to get you in trouble.
No, I'm good.
Hold on, you can't hear you. Get back to your phone again.
My bad. No, I'm good, man. I appreciate you guys let me jump on. I don't get to do this very often, but be on the lookout. We got some stuff planned for the Off Script channel, so it'll be coming from A&M, but it's still Off Script.
Listen, man. Listen. Once again, Sipping on Sundays on a Monday, holding it down on the Off Script channel, man. Like people thought, we don't die, we just multiplying. We just doing it different.
Multiply.
We just doing
Appreciate you guys.
Oh man,
I gotta hit you.
Proud of you, boy. Proud of you.
Thank you.
There it is. Hey man, listen. There he is. Boy got him a job. Boy about to get in school. Boy about to do some things and all that stuff, man. So, man, listen, proud of that boy. You know what I'm saying? And he's matured as he's maneuvered through these HBCU treacherous waters. So, You know what I'm saying? Got him a job down there at Alabama A&M. He's a proud bulldog, you know. That's a good look. That's a good look. I'm proud of my boy. Proud of him, man. So, Zoe, before we shut it down, because we got to get you out there because you got to go to work in the morning. Got anything else to lead the people with? Because the next, Zoe, okay, let's wait a minute. Next week is 4th of July weekend. Are we doing a show Sunday, Monday, or we skip it?
We'll do a show Sunday.
You want to do show Sunday? Well, we can do it Monday. It's up to you. 1 or 2. Just let me know. So when the 4th of July? Saturday?
Saturday.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm good because I'm not doing anything. So we should be back. And we're gonna, you know what we're gonna do, and I'm just gonna tell you guys, it's gonna be one of those shows. We're gonna open it up. We want to hear what you guys got to say. We're gonna have the phone lines open. We're gonna have you to bring up the topics, and we're gonna talk about the topic that you want to talk about next week. We're gonna have our own little barbecue. Kick it. What's that? Kickback. We're gonna have a Sunday kickback and talk a little bit about what you guys want to talk about next week. But Zoe, last thing, what you got before we get up out of here?
Not much, man. Hey, man, life, and y'all, everybody, man, look, take care of yourself. Health is wealth. And we're one day closer to Sweat Media Day, man, the start of this football season, man. I'm excited. Can't wait. Changes in the air. Y'all just tune in next Sunday.
Yeah, man, because we're gonna. So me and Zoe we're gonna look at them schedules. We gotta get our thing. Cause see, I want to let everybody else get theirs out the way. And plus, not being funny, so I was really waiting to make sure. And one thing, because we're gonna talk about this next week, and let me show this as a teaser real quick, because I had this set up. I didn't know Scott was coming on. This is gonna be actually the last little quick thing, but I am gonna show this because I do want to talk about this next week. But I do always find it interesting, the people that they bring for Media Day. And this is just some of the people, just a tease of some of the people that's coming for media. This ain't all the schools, but this is just some of the people. So we got, it's always interesting who gets to come to Media Day. So this is just some of the schools, like half the schools right here, right? That you sent me that have said who's coming to Media Day.
That's the West.
Huh?
That's the West.
The West, okay. So this is the West, who's the West, and we'll talk about this next Sunday, who's coming to Media Day. And we'll see what it is, and we'll go on, man. But once again, man, it is Sipping on Sundays on the Monday. It's Mr. Campbell and Zoe Phillips, man. Once again, we appreciate you all being here tonight, man. Great show on a Monday, man. You all guys always showed up and showed out, man. Shout out to Crook. Shout out to Israel. Shout out to Dukes. Shout out to all my folks. Moore, Edwin Jones, man. All my EA, man. Paris, my little sister, and all that stuff, man. They come in and support us no matter what. If you don't like us, you have to like us, but you come in and show up anyway, and I really appreciate it, man. That's all we got, man. It's Sipping on Sundays, and always know the question is what you sipping on. We'll see you later.